Actually, remember to go live on YouTube for once in my stupid Chungus life. We'll get there. There you go. Amazing. Let's do this real quick. Hello, I'm live. We're watching some Canadian tournaments today. Come hang out. Okay, cool. So, let's grab this guy. No, that's too many guys. This is simply too many guys. Oh, it's the relink. Yeah, the relink's that relink beta, man. It is. Listen, I just love relink. I'll just play the game if you let me play the game, which they did. But it is certainly a little disappointing, right? That it's got damn near nothing in there, basically. Like it just is the old beta for the game, but Beatrix is playable. I guess they don't really give that much of a shit. Like they're like, whatever, man. Game's coming out, but it does feel like what kind of I guess it was probably a crossplay network test. If we're being completely real and honest with ourselves, it probably was just a crossplay network test, right? Which I guess that's still good. Like it's still good to have that for sure. Make sure because the crossplay is one of the very big things coming in that new DLC. So making sure that shit actually works. I'm never gonna be against that personally. Yeah, I think we are. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go. Let me do this real quick. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple. Unfortunately, I cannot find the entire brackets for these. But these are a couple of Canadian tournaments that happened. I mean, Plus Mids was last like a couple weeks ago, the 7th. I remember it was the 7th of March, which is very unfortunate for me. It was last Saturday, right? No, what's the math on that? Last Friday. It was last Friday. Yeah. Unfortunate. I almost would have wanted. I would have wanted to go to this in person, honestly, but I just ended up having lots of plans and shit, so that never ended up materializing. And then there's also a Perfect Storm that happened, or a Perfect Storm 2026. This tournament here happened as well, where I believe Gabagool did quite well. So just watch some stuff. I mean, maybe definitely as we're watching Gabagool try and learn some stuff. Yo, Iggy, by the way, thank you very much for the 18 months in a row of Jeff Bezos money right there. Much appreciated. Little bunny emote there too.
I don't like the things they did to Siegfried.
Yeah, I can only see the winners finals, the losers finals, and the grand finals for this one. That's fine. We got another.
And now he keeps finding himself in the final.
Yeah, I'm a chud. He also said that.
I don't think he said that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Canada beat Colombia.
There's a lot of discussion about this
Siegfried
champion, to be honest with you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I definitely think. Whoa. How the fuck do you do that? How did I do? I don't even know how to do that on purpose again, man. I think he's definitely good enough to be nerfed, especially in the neighborhood of his damage. The thing that really doesn't make a lot of sense to me is people talking about this character as Fireball. I know they buffed the light Fireball where it will beat quote-unquote other light fireballs now, like it just goes through them and keeps trucking, but it doesn't feel super real to me because of the fact that it beats them, but it goes about 3 inches to the right before it then stops. It doesn't seem like it's just like, oh, Siegfried just auto wins fireball wars or anything like that. In fact, it kind of feels like, if anything, he has to wait longer before he throws his light fireball out again because it's still out on the screen, right? So I don't know. But certainly this character got buffed to hell and back for sure. He's much better than he used to be. It was good lag. Gotta pass out soon, but I gotta stay upright for a bit. So I'm driving by. I'll do my best to keep you awake as long as you can manage it physically. Leave it a master done at an 87% win rate. I was named the Hugger. I think you should have lost 20% more of your matches, personally. For a guy like me, that'd be my recommendation.
Ripping the DP like how we ripped never mind.
I actually don't know who won this. I think Hubert won the Perfect Storm bracket. I'm not sure if he also won Plus Mids or not. I run to boom back on ranked queue a lot though. It is fun, certainly because it's more regional tournament. I can see motherfuckers who are in my queues and now they're in this bracket. That's fun. Damn, I should have been asked. 6-7 win rate isn't even that bad, man. That's still like heartily winning more of your matches than you lose.
Okay, Huberto.
If you run a first to 100, like, wait.
DQ Buster, please.
That's not how that shit works. I got blessed by Kita-san Black on pole 4, Mambo on pole 1. It's been a good week for me and seemingly only me. You know, I have not gotten. I mean, I got Mambos. I got 2 Mambos, or 3. or something. I did not get any Kitasan so far off the free pulls, but also I will never run Kitasan ever, so that's fine. Like I should be, it would actually be kind of annoying if I got really good luck on this banner, because the human gambling brain rot tells me that means I gotta get bad luck on the next banner. I don't want, I want the luck for later. So I'm very okay to have. I mean, and even it's not like even getting no Kitasans in like 30 pulls or whatever the hell is not bad luck.
No,
right? That is
like,
still entirely the expected result there.
Oh,
Matsuri Mambo. Yep.
Mambo,
two Mambo.
Like
oh, Matsuri Mambo, even. One could say. There's a lot of pushback, I remember, and there still kind of is. Of like don't call her Mambo, bro. Her name is Machikane Tanhoiza, which is true. Her name is also kind of Mambo, man.
You say
you know, Ogre is Ogre Cap, but she's also fatty affectionate, but she's also, you know, the Ashen Beast of Kasamatsu. Machikane Tanhoiza can also be Mambo, it's fine. I got Ayabe off my pull today, which is great, because I love Road to the Top, but if someone tried to win, LOL. You know, her ult is pretty bad, but if I remember correctly, her kit wasn't, like, the worst. I mean, I'd say that. She doesn't have spurt, or like, her kit was, like, the passive skills that she comes with is not that bad. Her ult is quite, it does nothing, basically, right?
Then stop leaving.
I don't know why they made her so ass. Like, wasn't she pretty strong?
What a
like, I get that sense. I get this, like, she consistently mogs NTR in the OVA, right?
Easily.
It's just like, we already have Taishin and Golshi. Yeah, I guess. And again, listen, I'm telling, and Maya. I was gonna say, don't sleep on Maya now that Oharu's gone, man. Especially if they end up buffing Bofa before, which they maybe have already or maybe haven't. I don't know. If they end up buffing Bofa before this next CM shows up, her having like a good gold recovery in her kit and like the best acceleration for all backliners on longer tracks. He's a Derby winner, bro. Why'd they do her like that? Yeah, man. I mean, I guess Chio is pretty bad too, right? Sakura Chiono, and she's a Derby winner.
We saw this exact combo like last round.
Yeah, we did.
So I guess they just don't care.
What are you
doing,
man?
Add just mids instead of just watching just mids. Could have been peak. Could have kept Hubert from Grants. I wanted to go, man. I actually did. I genuinely wanted to go. But that Friday, right? The 7th was a Friday. I remember explicitly being like, I have plans, and I ended up not being able to go to that at all. What happened on the Friday? I'm actually, like, I have a hole in my brain I've discovered. I'm also a little bit EP right now, but there was a good reason. There was a good reason that I could not go. Was Belial kind of making Sieg look like not a problem? And Hubert's pretty good. Don't sleep on Hubert. And even, like, okay, here's the thing, too. Say Siegfried is a problem. Belial is maybe not. I mean, again, I think these characters in this zoner heavy meta, I think all of them are sort of held back a little bit. But, like, Belial's kind of a problem, too. This Belial character is still very good, right?
Siegfried does suck. We need to make him worse.
He does, like, stay. He kind of, you know, goes under the radar, which is crazy to say about Belial, but he goes under the radar these days because, to be fair, he's not the problem. Like, he's not the problem. Right, but this Belial character is still very strong. He's just very solid all around still. No doubt about it.
It's okay.
All right.
I have seen, I think it was Vidril in my chat, said that he thinks Siegfried is solidly top 1. This is a few days after the Siegfried buffs dropped. That is a very strong statement. I feel like I don't see how Siegfried is anywhere close, to be honest, but maybe solidly top 1 is a very interesting one, though, because that means he's like obviously better than like Cagliostro, Fairy, you know, Grimnir, Matera, whoever else you think is up there. Lowain probably still maybe lagging slightly behind those characters, but still definitely in that discussion as well. No, that felt to me like a pretty strong declaration. But
Boston Green until I cream.
Had a dream where EX grants 236M on hits, had him dash in, do some slashes, and launch you away. How will this affect the meta? Well, very important question. How cool did it look in your dream? Did it look dope as fuck? Because how this might affect the meta is people might finally remember that EX Grand exists, despite currently being a pretty solid character. Nobody plays that guy. Like, nobody plays Gran already. But then of the subset of Gran players, the only person who plays EX Gran on God's Green Earth is Temp.
Wake up DP, DP.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Confirm. You're dead, too. Yup.
Bang. A very fast.
Does he go Swiss cheese in a gruff, short Canadian kind of voice? So Nah, EX Vegeta is top 1.
He's
trust.
like,
I will say EX Vegeta I don't think is. I think EX Vegeta is the definition of underpowered. Right, where she just like isn't doing enough for like an entire character kit. But some people do talk about that character. Like she literally is like complete dog, right? Like he still has a throw bait, if not a great one, right? He still does, you know, decent. Like she has like decent mid screen. The problem is, it really is just she just isn't doing anything super special, right? Or like anything even. Like most, like everything. I don't think there's a single thing in Vegeta's kit that is above average, right? Or EX Vegeta.
Yeah.
Vegeta has some stuff for sure. I don't think there's anything in EX Vegeta's kit that's above average. Everything in her kit is like average or worse, which is, again, I'm not trying to cape for EX Vegeta too hard. But some people talk about EX Vegeta like that character is like a tier below everyone else in the video game.
You're not alone in the mic for too long.
Don't yell at me. I don't know anything about anything. But don't the Zoe buffs make her feel better mid-screen than EX Vegeta? I mean, Zoe, if you talk about like off of the auto combo and the places where she gets the spinning slash extensions, Zoe is better mid-screen than like a lot of the cast. Zoe gets damn near, well, maybe not. Zoe gets like meterless 70% of the screen in like 4K off her. Like Zoe is just good in the mid screen. If again, it's only off her auto combo. What the fuck? Like off her far pokes, the buffs didn't really change anything about her. But like she's that GBH finally getting to put a face to the name.
Don't think so.
There's a lot of. But yeah, like Zoe being better than EX Vegeta in the mid screen is more of like a Zoe's pretty good at that. Now EX Vegeta's not very good at it, I will say, which is unfortunate because that was supposed to be like I think the problem if you know the direction they need to take EX Vegeta with is clearly I think they wanted EX Vegeta to trade you know Vegeta's stronger Oki and like you know neutral fireballs and stuff and all of this. And like her 5U is kind of just the same thing as EX Vegeta's throw bait, maybe a little better sometimes, maybe a little worse sometimes. She was supposed to trade all of that, charge fireball, all this shit for mid screen, right? Like that's what she's supposed to do. But her mid screen is worse than regular G. Like it's a little better sometimes, maybe. But like a lot of the times, she gets like more damage and less carry. Look neat, basically Charlotta 214. That might help. That might help.
Okay.
The Guts Maxer himself going up against broken ass, busted ass top 3 CAG. The problem is you can't say this shit because like you know if you go like broken ass Vayne, right? Broken ass Vayne. It loses its luster if you're talking about actual unironically broken ass, busted ass for real top 3 Cagliostro. You know what I mean?
That character's still like bottom 5. No, it's still bottom. No, not anymore. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think EX Vegeta is bad as forget she's part of the game. That's valid. I think it is both, by the way. I do think EX Vegeta is quite bad. But
ITH,
that was music's first, bro.
Now, what the timing? OMG, it's Brick Fantasy Reeling. That is. How are ya? How the heck are ya? and then you come in for the world's worst white person dap. I'm good. I'm a little EP personally. I'm a little bit of an EP guy. I spent the day. It was actually very fun. But one of my friends is an artist, and they went to it's like a card show or something. I think it's called Card Fiesta. They went to Card Fiesta. Somewhere in Vaughan, in Toronto, and I helped them out with their table for a bit. Mostly I didn't really do anything. I just kind of hung out, and when they had to go like hunt down certain cards or something, I was just handling customers as they came in. It was a good time. It was a good time. Code switch jump scare for real. Yeah, it was very fun. But I did wake up earlier than I had planned to, considering how late I went to bed last night for it. So. I feel a little bit EP. EP last check your name is Brick, not Torku, the Tiny Bean. I could be a there's in fact, because it's a tiny bean, there's more than enough room in this town for multiple tiny beans. Is there ever any reason to not hold the Beelzebub Super? Yes, I believe. How was Reeling, by the way? No, the beta is. We'll talk about it in a second, but the beta was actually kind of disappointing, but not in the way of like I'm not excited for the DLC, so they didn't put anything in the beta. The only reason to ever not hold the Beelzebub Super, to my understanding, is that sometimes on really weird angles, as you hold it, the opponent is sliding out of the hitbox. So if you hold it for long enough, the big final clap might actually miss. So sometimes on like really weird hit confirms, you have to just let that shit go immediately, so that the first thing that hit, like when they're still in range, you get the big hit out. But like 90% of the time, more probably, you do just hold the whole thing. But yeah, the relink beta was like, again, I think the DLC is gonna be great, but it was literally the original relink beta. Right, with the 3 quests and everything, but Beatrix was playable, and like Beatrix seems cool, right? Don't get me wrong, Beatrix seems cool. She's got 2 different kind of Delta clock mechanics. One of them is just like you kind of move the clock hand by holding the button, and it gives you either an attack boost, a defense boost, or a healing, like a passive healing boost, depending on what you land on, which was cool. The attack boost seems like probably the best thing, because everyone in relink at the end of the day is a DPS. And it seemed like a 10% like straight up total attack buff. Like if you do 100 damage, you do 110, and if with all your sigils and attack boosts and everything, you do 500, I think it makes you do 550, not 510. So it seemed pretty good. And then she's like a gauge character. She builds up a gauge, and then when the gauge is full, she can enter Devour Causality, which like doubles the speed of her attacks and gives her an after image that does sub damage. I mean, I think Beatrix is going to be a good DPS character, for sure. Right? But like there's nothing else to do in the beta. We tried to S++ on the substream with a few of the fellas. We tried to S++ one of the basic ass quests with like the nun equipment they gave you, and we did manage to do it. She got Ganagin. She kind of has Ganagin. She does kind of have Ganagin. Yeah, like again, despite the fact that there was nothing in the beta and we were just basically playing straight relink for like an hour and a half, straight relink, even in the super early game when it's like the most boring it'll ever be, it's kind of good. I just realized DBH is fucking cleaning up, by the way. I did not realize he was up 2-0. That's nice, yeah. Yeah, the Brick Trackblazer stream. At this point, I've been busy enough this weekend that I haven't gotten a chance to play Trackblazer. And Vane was like, just save the blind playthrough for stream. I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not, man? Why not? Now, it is semi-blind. I've already like seen a lot of discussion about items and like certain synergies and potential strategies and stuff like that. But I've never like I haven't like sat down and like watched a guide video about the scenario or anything like that. I like read a guide, and I've definitely never played the scenario. So it'll still be, you know, mostly discovery. Oh shit, he isn't mant pilled? I'm not. I haven't been very video game pilled. I'm busy. But once you get in there, everything goes out the window. Yeah, I think like it feels like it's no amount of book learning can prepare you. I believe that. I mean, I haven't done very much book learning at all anyway. But it does definitely seem like one of those things where you really have to get a feel for like just the turn-by-turn flow of it, right? Are you ready to take the guts pill? No, I don't think I will, and I don't think I have to. I think the best decks in Mant are probably still speed with decks, just like they were in Alharu. Yeah, we will be actually looking at the story in Trackblazer 2, which is a great time. You're not ready for Dog Water Shops Break. My mental is stronger than you could ever know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at
if Beatrix doesn't have the bonk and relink, I'm not installing. She kind of, it will take forever. We'll do like one run for the whole stream. That's fine. Do like our first Mant run will be 3 hours long or something. Yeah, why not? I'm generally down for that. There's like 175 special events. We'll turn on short mode for the trainee events and shit. But nice GBH, by the way. We'll turn on short mode for the trainee events and shit, but we'll keep all the scenario events up. A guts pill like an Earthbound. Excuse me. The fuck? Got my first SS Uma today with Guras Wanda. That's good. I have been seeing in the stat line. I mean, the stat lines people have been able to pump out in Mant are even a little crazier than I expected, really. Like, it really does seem that, like, you can get, like, 1200 speed and, like, 1000 of 3 other stats, realistically. Maybe not realistically. That's a good run, for sure, right? That's a good run with a good deck. But like, it's a thing that's doable, which is completely a new entire dimension, right? Went from 0 S ranks to 5 now. Mant is magic. I mean, Bant blaze a new track. Is do it with Tannhäuser, so read through every trainee event too and go for 5 hours. That's actually not a bad idea. It's not a bad. Man, you know what? I haven't read a lot of the Ogre events. Maybe we do it with base Ogre.
I like that. Second place.
I've wanted to read the trainee events forever, but I got so caught up in the CM grind. Maybe we do it with base Ogre and we just read everything and we actually do one fucking 4-hour run.
The plus mid 6.
I managed to hit SS plus. Yeah.
I like the font you use. Yeah, it's called It's called Magneto.
It's high roll. I got 1200 speed, 1100 stamina, 950 power, 600 guts, and a width with Valentine bourbon. It's high rolly, you mean? Yeah, I mean, I think it really is. Again, I think it's. It seems like a huge skill check scenario too, right?
That is pretty.
Like even much more than Alharu, and definitely much more than URA.
It takes like 2 hours, I want to say.
What's it? Like much more than Alharu and much more than URA. It seems like you can play the scenario wrong. Right. So that's exciting for me because that means you can play the scenario right. I like skill expression in my shit. All the trainee stories basically gutted in bans. Yeah, true. Like you're not gonna get any of the goal races or anything, but like I assume trainee events still happen, right? Like, they kind of have to because some of them are like costume events and choice events and stuff like that. I've never read any of those for Ogre either. If the items you want don't show up, it's rough. I mean, there's always gonna be like ways for your RNG to kill you, right? But I assume there's also ways to hedge against like skill in a game in a game like that is hedging against bad RNG essentially.
Fireball is really good. It's just
like it's gonna be like how to hedge against bad RNG. Is like that is the skill of playing this game. It's what it has been in URA. That's what it was in Alharu. Is like setting up turns to give yourself the maximal chance to get lucky. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll get fucked. Like sometimes you have Alharu runs where you do everything perfectly. You just lose. You know, the Unity Finals. Whatever, man. Right? Sometimes your trainings are just never good. Sometimes you just don't hit the inspirations you need. That's not fucked, usually. If just not hitting that inspiration is not, like, fucked. But like, those are very rare. Like, the runs where the luck was so bad there was no way you could make anything even passable out of it are very rare. Maybe they're not quite as rare in Mant, but because the ceiling is so much higher now, but I don't think so.
Oh, the lab right.
How to hedge against bad RNG? What is this competitive Pokemon? It's any competitive video game with RNG ever, man.
What is going on here? That combo sequence was insane.
In any competitive game where RNG is a factor, how to play around the chance that you might get unlucky is like a lot of the skill.
Combo limit just did not want to.
A low roll in the scenario is like 950s across the board. It's so much more nuts than I thought. Yeah, that seems really good. I run 3 speed, 2 width, 1 stam most of the time. I guess if you're building, if you're building 0% speed growth Uma, that is probably a good idea, right? If you're building Uma with speed growth, which is hard to find for end closers, or if you're end closing anyway. Like if you're building like Gold Ship and Maya or some shit, then you have 3 speed, 2 wit. Actually, no, you can probably cap. I'm thinking I'm on a horror brain. You can definitely cap. You could probably cap 1200 speeds on even on 2 speed cards, and man's pretty easy, right? If you get even like a decent run and play that shit well. They got me on power cards. Is it just for the skills? I assume.
What the heck?
He did the horses in the street. Yeah, the horses here. How you doing, Con? On speed, almost you use 1 speed card then? I couldn't tell you. I'll have to play man to get a feel for it. But which bracket is this? This is plus mids number 6. This is a local bracket actually. It happened like in fucking driving distance for me. Happened in fucking drive, but I didn't get to go unfortunately. Dude, it's because you can get 1200 power everyone with just El Condor power. It takes like 2 good power clicks. I think I would rather get like 1050 power then and bring another card in my deck. If I'm clicking on Pasa twice. You know what I mean? But maybe you just have so much of everything else you can fit it in. Maybe. Again, I'm not gonna make any strategy judgments. I have no idea how to bant, man. I have no idea how to bant. You got MLB Nature Wit, right? Yes. How's your Finemo looking? Because not having Finemo is beating my ass. My Finemo is not looking. She's like 0 LB.
Is that dead? Definitely. Oh yeah.
You'll see. I will. I like the driving distance. I can drive to Florida. I guess this takes a few days. True. You gotta come one day, Brick. Will be awesome to meet you. I wanted to come to this one. I do not. It sounds super sus, I know. I don't remember why I couldn't go, but I explicitly remember having plans on this day. I know that sounds sus as fuck, but it's not because I'm hiding anything. It's because I have a hole in my brain, and I literally can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone a week ago. You gotta believe me, man. You gotta fucking believe me. Ow. Trying to figure out Pathfinder playing the video game. It looks interesting, but it's a lot to understand. I mean, all of the Pathfinder CRPGs are first edition, right? Like, the reputation that Pathfinder got for being Mathfinder was from first edition, right? First edition is I mean, I've never played first edition, but just like the few things I've seen of it, it looks like a game that could be like it's probably really fucking cool. But you want to talk about Mathfinder, right? You want to talk about Mathfinder? Honestly, people say Mathfinder, that sounds amazing to me, but that one is much more complicated than second edition, I think, right? Like first edition, like you can stack. They did a lot of things coming into second edition, to my understanding, to make it a little bit less difficult to play than first edition, right? You can't stack as many different statuses, considering the fact that, you know, if you have 2 different status bonuses to AC, you just take the higher one, right? They have the 4 different bonus types in second edition, and that's the only ways you can stack shit. You can have like a circumstance bonus and a status bonus. Or like you could have a status bonus to attack rolls, and your enemy could have a status penalty to AC or something, which is technically stacking, right? But in first edition, to my understanding, you can just stack and stack and stack and stack and stack, and there's so many different effects and shit like that. It's a VOD? Yeah, it's a VOD. Plus mids happened last week. Asking because I saw an attempt at it fail this match. How good as a fireball punish is Karma? Very bad. Karma is like if you're at any range where you could be like it takes so long to start up, right? Now I think what GBH is probably doing there is like he's not even trying necessarily to do it to punish the fireball. He just wants to pull you in and get you plus. Or get him plus in your face, right? But Karma has like, at best, it's like a 20 frame startup or something. So to like see a fireball whiff and punish them for that is going to be tough. Or you can put up the Karma and it'll eat the fireball sometimes, but still. Also, GBH is cooking, man. Rick's one of those parasocial streamers that thinks his Twitch chat will actually kill him if they meet IRL. Wait, wouldn't that mean... if I was parasocial, I would think they wouldn't kill me, right? Hello, Mr. Burtick. Hello. That fadeaway combo made me pregnant. Brigante? Briganonaught? But yeah, the Pathfinder video games, I think, are all first edition, which I have not played it, so I can't talk about it too much. I'm sure it's still cool, but second edition, that's the shit, man. Pathfinder second edition? That's that fucking shit. So, I mean, it worked right there, right? It can work, but right there, for example, Boomback was like in the Granblue zone away from GBH, right? Like they were so close to each other. Siegfried does tend to use his fireball a lot more up. No, you're not dead. You're not dead. You're not even close to it. Come on, chill. Right? Chill. Again, Siegfried hits hard, man. People need to like. He's not quite as insane as a lot of people make him out to be. I think, right? You're nowhere close to dead there. That's a lot of damage, though. A lot of damage. The counter hit Yumir Rengen, especially as a starter and not as a cancel. Shit is scary. I think it's parasocial. If there's any emotional connection at all that's one-sided, fear is an emotion? I don't think so, right? That is not what parasocial means. Parasocial means assuming you have a connection with someone. Like, being if you're like, okay, say that like Michael Jackson, not to compare myself to Michael Jackson in many ways, I don't want that comparison, but if you're like Michael Jackson, you have a stalker, and you're like afraid of that stalker, that's not parasocial, that's just like good sense. You know what I mean? I think parasocial is specifically the like, oh, we're friends, oh my god, you know? Like, oh, this guy's in my chat all the time. He must be my best friend. Or like, this streamer, I watch this streamer all the time. I know so much about him. We're such good friends, me and him. Outside of the first couple days, have you seen Siegs use 5U after the buffs? Okay, again, I think that the most optimal place to use Siegfried 5U has not changed. It's in the middle of his combos, right? Siegfried has double 5U combos that you can just do in the corner. I don't think it's a good idea that much to use it in neutral anyway, though there are use cases for it, right? But where primarily you see a lot of the Siegfrieds, especially the ones who actually played him, and you know, they played him before the buffs and they're playing him now, is they'll use it in his combos, and it is just better to do there, right? Like Siegfried 5U is definitely good still. And much better than it used to be.
Boomback has one more chance at life, Fearless.
I was curious in general if it was used. Yeah, it's used in nice reaction, but it wasn't a counter hit. It's used in combos, not generally in neutral as much. I assume that when the stream turns off, you stop existing, and I trust you to think the same of me when I stop chatting. Pretty close to that, honestly. Pretty close to that.
I got hit.
He's so good.
He's so
Live
good.
GBH cut it. Look at that handsome man.
I like the GBH.
One thing about PF2E I remember enjoying was being able to be a functional healer just through some feats in a healer's kit while not being forced into a magic class. Yeah. Obviously, like, at the end of the day, the best, ignoring, like, resource consumption, right? The best way to heal someone is the heal spell. It just scales like crazy and there's no chance of failure, right? But, like, just speccing into medicine, especially like taking like the medic archetype. If you take the medic archetype, like, you're crazy. You can battle medicine people once every 10 minutes when you're a master in medicine, I think, and like, or no, it's once an hour if you're a master, once every 10 minutes if you're legendary. But still, once an hour healing, you could, you can treat wounds. I mean, out of combat healing is not that well. Out of combat healing depends heavily on your GM and your campaign. It either is not at all a thing, right? It's not like a problem at all. Or if you run with a GM who, or in a scenario or a dungeon or something where there's like not a guaranteed 10-20 minutes of downtime between encounters, it can get very helpful to have. Right? You're just about to do something nutty in this game? Interesting. How do they just know to spot dodge? GBH just spot dodges all the time, whether he knows or not, man. That's like his whole thing.
Oh, too late. Yep. Go next round.
This Boombag guy griefed me on my Sandy challenge yesterday. He's doing that unblockable on reaction to Karma. He's kind of cracked if he is. I mean, honestly, not to take anything away from Boombag, Karma is pretty reactable, right? Like, generally, you want to react to Karma with jump and then smack, but Uber is a totally valid way to do it. Think of being an alchemist healer character, yeah, the Chirurgeon. Yeah, you could be a Chirurgeon. But yeah, even without even speccing into a healer subclass, like just a guy. Well, like what? Oh, I think you miss, but both of you miss. Yeah, the Damocles misses, but it doesn't matter. Even just a guy with battle medicine. To be fair, the medic archetype is feats, right? But if you invest a couple, like, even the medic dedication and like get doctor's visitation, and then just increase your skills through medicine with battle medicine, you're a solid ass healer. You're a solid ass healer. That's not non-investment. Nope. Plus, it's nice because like, it means that a lot of characters can do. I think one of the nicer side effects of it is there doesn't necessarily have to be the party healer, right? Like, even if you have a cleric in the party, they, like, certainly they're going to be the best healer you have if they're a healing font cleric. But you can also just have, like, your investigator who has a free hand, who, with their fucking rapier or something, and like they can heal, or like your free hand fighter, right? Monks make amazing medics as well, right? Monks make amazing medics because they're free hands by default. And they're gonna want wisdom for their, because monks are a save tank class regardless. Right? Are you dead? 17k. If Boombag wins this, it's a health diff. It's 17k diff. GBH loves the run up DP, man. GBH loves that run up DP. The amount of times he's fucking hit me with that shit, I hate this motherfucker.
Getting a taste of his own medicine there.
I wish I knew enough people to play D&D. I want to try it out. Yeah, I mean, tabletop games in general are just one of they're like one of the greatest group hobbies, I think. If you can get enough people who are interested in it, it's just getting together with your friends and writing a story, man. Boombag just did the same round before. True, but like, again, I've fought GBH a lot. This is not like, like GBH doing that run up DP. It is like, it's like you're scared, so I'm gonna do this. But this is also just like a thing GBH does. You know what I mean? There's like a difference between seeing GBH spot dodge something and go, wow, that was a good spot dodge, versus seeing the fact that GBH spot dodges like 30% of the time on block or something like that. That is also just a player thing. I could smell that as soon as the run up happened. Yeah, man. Yeah. Though, I mean, he does it smart though. Like, sometimes GBH just run up to you and then just throw your ass or something. I don't have IRL friends. It's a tough one. I mean, unironically, you don't need IRL friends. Pathfinder has Pathfinder Society. I'm sure D&D has something similar. I mean, it's bigger than Pathfinder by like a factor of 99, so I'm sure something like that exists. But like, there are also like online games that you can run or be a part of. Like, people are running games and you can join them, and they're designed to be like open to the public and shit like that. Like, that shit is cool, right? Obviously, I think the issue is more so scheduling, even with online friends. Scheduling is always the BBEG, yes. But I mean, the thing with me is, I'm like, at the end of the day, if the important thing is getting together a group of people who actually wants to do this and who enjoy it, because like, yesterday I had plans fall through because I consider daylight savings will fuck us up differently. Yeah, but like, at the end of the day, right? Like, say you're supposed to run your sessions weekly. even like I'll tell you what, the very game that I GM right now, right? We had a session last Friday. It was great. They all fucking they didn't TPK. They didn't lost a fight and they are now captured, which is awesome. I'd love to see that as a GM personally. It was actually really, you know, it was really unfortunate. They walked up to like this encampment of Urdafon. They're playing Abomination Vaults, if any of you know what's up with that. And you know, there are these like very kind of barbaric undead type individuals. They're still like humanoid and they can talk and shit. They're not like mindless zombies or anything. And they were walking up to like the 2 guards at the front of the outpost and like fucking like they're really fucking with them and like poking fun at them and shit like that. And one of them started being like, "Yo, if you keep this shit up, I'm gonna call all my boys and we're gonna jump you," right? And the guy was like, one of my buddies was like, "Can I sense motive? Is she talking out of her ass?" And the wonderful thing is that that's a secret check. I roll that for him and just tell him the results, right? So I roll my investigator's sense motive check. His perception is very high, right? His perception is very high. He rolls a natural 1 on the check. Of course, he doesn't know he rolls a natural 1 on the check, but he does roll a natural 1 on the check. I love that little side swap Unisonic. That GBH does the shit a lot. Bubs has such saucy looking combos. But he rolls a nat 1 on the check. So I tell him to his face with a straight face. I go, "Oh yeah, she's definitely bluffing." You can tell there's maybe like either it's gonna be hard for her to actually get the reinforcements, or there's just not that many of them in there right now. It's hard to tell, but something about what she's saying definitely seems like she's lying to you. And they buy that shit hook, line, and sinker, right? They buy that shit hook, line, and sinker. He starts really getting up in her face. He's like, "Yeah, fucking do it then, do it then." And then one of the little scouts that they had hidden next to the gate, he just ran into the camp and brought 20 people out. Genuinely. Now, to be fair, it is 20 in the sense of like, if you know how Pathfinder encounter scaling works, it was 20 people. They are level 9 characters. 13 of those characters, 13 of the enemies were like level 3. You know what I mean? It was like 13 level 3s, like a couple of level 5, well, like 4 level 5s, and like 2 level 7s, or something like that. But
wait, no, there's...
Right? But that's still a lot. Like, even if they're significant, like, if you know anything about Pathfinder 2e, a level 3 character fighting a level 9 character is, like, it's impossible, right? Like, this is not D&D bounded accuracy at all. Like, you cannot... A level 3 character, I had to use Foundry macros to roll, like, you know, when all the little fucking shitlings went in and, like, tried to swing at the party fighter, I had to use a Foundry macro. Thank God for Foundry, by the way. It lets you, I was like, roll me 13 D20s and tell me how many of them are bigger than a 19. That's all I care about, right? Like, tell me how many of them are a 19 or a 20, right? If they're a 19, it's a hit. If they're a 20, it's a critical hit. That's all I care about, because you literally cannot hit her otherwise. Like, your options are roll a 19 or a 20 on the D20 or miss. And so it was, I think it was a tough fight, but it was a relatively balanced fight. The problem, I'm dead-ass invested, it was fun. The problem is that this is a very single target damage heavy party, right? They have a very strong, like, just run up and kill you two-handed sword fighter, right? Who, I mean, who was one-shotting every single one of these little guys, but there's 13 of them. You just don't have that many actions, right? They have a pretty strong single target damage investigator, right? They have a grappler, like a cleric who's like a grappler and a healer, right? A tank, grappler, healer, or cleric. And then they have the one oracle, who is a spontaneous divine spellcaster with a decent amount of AoE. And I'll tell you what, that oracle did, I think, 500 damage on they took 2 turns where they did like big AoE spells. I think they did 500 damage combined on those 2 turns. It was insane. Wasn't quite enough. They got so close. They got down to like they were like all out of fucking like they had all gone down like once or twice. They were like in a bit of a death spiral. You know, the Oracle was out of their big like AoE spells too, because it wasn't their first fight of the day. They got down to like 3 guys or 4 guys or something, but they just ran out of gas. They ran out of gas. Luckily for them, I did keep in mind that this was going to be a pretty hard fight. And there are lore reasons that they aren't all immediately executed right now. These guys do work for the big bad, and the big bad does need them alive. But now the fun part is like, this is going to be like, oh, you know, you guys got cut. He rolled a nat 1 in his perception check, and therefore you TPK and the game's over, right? But the fun part now is I'm like, how do I punish them for this loss, right? Because you have to make it still, like, they basically TPK'd. Right? You get to do a prison break arc? That's true, but you also have to have, like, stakes, right? They lost a fight straight up. The party entirely, all of them got knocked out, and they got, like, taken into the camp by these people. How do I punish them for this in a way that hurts, in a way that makes them feel the weight of that failure, without making it think like nothing has stakes? What's a TPK in this context? Oh, sorry. Total party kill is what a TPK is. The total party kill. It's what's referred to when literally a fight, like, kills every member of the party, you know? All 4 or 5 of them walk in alive, and they all leave dead.
What the heck?
So they didn't TPK because none of them died, because the enemies have narrative reasons to not kill them all. But were those enemies who were trying to kill them, they would have all died. They would have TPK, right? So obviously I don't want to do that, because I think that was not... There are fights where I'm willing for them to TPK. The final boss of this adventure, which they're approaching, if they TPK there, that's fine. That's going to be a really hard fight. That's an extreme encounter, right? They very well may TPK, and those people are going to try and kill them. But these guys have no reasons not to. I don't want to just have it be you roll the nat 1 on your perception check, see you next campaign, dumbass. But I need to think about how... I need to think about how exactly I'm going to make it still hurt that they lost. I have a couple of ideas. I have a couple of ideas for sure. But I gotta think of I gotta think of something interesting to do that feels like fair, that like you lost without feeling like I'm just trying to fuck them up, right? I'm trying to fuck them up too much. Because at the end of the day, like, you always gotta remember as a GM, you could always just be like, all right, 7 level 20 dragons descend on you and insta-kill. Like, you are the guy with all the power, right? Like, if your goal is to beat the players, like, why just kill them? Like, you're God. You are the God of the world, right? Like, the goal should never be like, oh, how can I really fuck up my players? You can always do that. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Exactly, right? Rocks fall, everyone dies. That's no fun. So I'm not trying to be like, well, how can I really fuck them up? But you do still want to maintain the idea that there are narrative stakes, right? This is like the second fight that the party has just straight up lost in the entire campaign, right? There needs to be consequences for that, right? There needs to be consequences for that. Those consequences are not going to be rocks fall, everyone dies, but like, something's gotta hurt a little bit. They gotta feel like, man, if only that hadn't happened, you know, this would have been this would have been a lot easier to do. Like, skill issue or intended loss? Not intended loss. There's one fight I gave them which was impossible. I gave them a survive timer, and someone died in that fight. But it was honestly, that was maybe the highlight of the campaign, right? There was a fight. When they were at level 5, I gave them a fight against a level 12 dragon, which is one of the, like, there's a duo BBEG to the end of this campaign. It's a level 12 sorcerer and a level 12 dragon, and they'll be level 10 when they show up, so it'll be an extreme encounter. And, like, obviously, again, at level 5, fighting a level 12 creature, let alone a level 12 dragon, is impossible, right? That was not a boss fight they were supposed to walk up and win, and they knew that. I think one of the really important lessons that I've learned as I've been GMing is, like, if something bad, and this is, I think, something that I heard Brendan Lee Mulligan say once, and I was like, you know what, this is bars, and I've been really trying to stick with that. If something bad is going to happen to your players, or if you think there's a good chance that something bad could happen to your players, you really have to set the mood. Because a lot of the time, players don't actually mind characters dying or losing a fight or being overpowered. That's not the problem. It's when it feels like it's cheap or a surprise or sudden or unearned, right? Again, the epitome of this being rocks fall, everyone dies. It's like, I just walked into a room and you killed me, right? But if you like set the mood, if you this creature had been like something that has kind of been slightly, ever so slightly, it's been like a mystery of like this giant fucking thing that has been like breaking shit and like killing things, and they're just like kind of following its trail, right? So they already are kind of primed to understand that this thing is way beyond them right now. And then, like, when they actually enter it, right, when they entered that combat, they knew they were overextending themselves, right? Like, there's a meme in the party of, there was, the investigator is, both the player and his character, to be fair, are very, like, what's behind that door, right? The only other fight that they just straight up lost that was maybe winnable, but it was designed to be very difficult, and I warned them against it, there was a big door marked do not open, basically, and that the BBEG herself, the other one, the sorcerer, she had warned them, hey, don't open that door, right? Don't open that door. You don't want to see what's behind that shit, because again, for basically, they've only recently learned this, but she is kind of farming them, literally. Like, she is raising, they came up, like, they came here as complete shitfucks, but after seeing how quickly they grew, I'm trying to, like, fit some kind of, yeah, exactly, don't hit The start button. Yeah, the DBZ. I tried to fit in like the narrative growth of how quickly adventurers show up and just become like the strongest people in the fucking world. So they just came in as if they were just hired to like, hey, go investigate this shit. After seeing how quickly they progressed, he's like, ooh, right? Like she basically wants to farm them because she needs powerful vessels for something that she's doing, right? So she doesn't want them to just die in here, right? Rib GBH, it's true, it's true. She doesn't want them to just die in here, right? So she was like, don't open this door. And then when they got to the door, I was like, this like ominous green magic is flowing out of it, and you can smell the stench of death. And the investigator goes,
you're like bleeding out.
What's behind that door? And he opens the door up. He opens the door up, and it's a very tough fight. And it ends up with the fighter getting like sacrificing herself and getting like basically got captured, and there's like a whole rescue arc for it. Like that was cool, right? That was cool. That was cool because, like, they fucked up, but they knew they were fucking up when they were fucking up. So when I then go, alright, motherfucker, punishment, they don't feel cheated, right? That dragon fight, I had already set up this creature as, like, this big, scary monster that they, like, only have recently found out was a dragon. And when they said it, everyone in town, when they go, hey, so there's an adult black dragon in the dungeon you told us to explore, and everyone, when they said, like, and these are all, like, this is a town of, like, relatively seasoned adventurers. This is a town of, like, level 5 NPCs, right? Which by, like, real world, like, a level 1 character is already, like, a level 1 character is an expert soldier by like, real standards, right? By, like, real world standards, a level 1 character is, like, a trained soldier. A level 3 character is, like, almost as strong as humans. Like, it's beyond peak human, probably. Like, a level 3 character is already starting to be a little bit superhuman, for sure. I don't think your average Joe can cast a spell. Level 1 guys can cast several. Yeah, obviously, like, in real world, no one casts a spell. But, like, even the average Joe within the D&D setting, right, can't cast a spell, right? Again, the average level 1 fighter in a tabletop is strong enough that their martial prowess is comparable to a guy who can cast magic, right? Like a guy who can make fire appear out of his hands in a cone. A level 1 fighter is so good with a sword that he can do like more damage at level 1 a lot of the time, right? So these are level 5, 6 adventurers in this village, and when they go, hey, there's an adult black dragon in the dungeon you guys sent us to explore, everyone shits their pants. Like, everyone goes, fucking what? Excuse? Oh, we might have to leave. Like, this is not gonna work, right? Like, oh, are you guys sure you want to go back in there? Like, you can not if you want, right? Like, this entire village of like 5, 6 NPCs just immediately shits their fucking pants when they say this, right? So I'm building this creature up the entire time. So when they finally, they just had like a little mini boss fight, and there's these big ornate double doors, and everyone's fucking resting on a little bedroll, and the investigator is like, I wonder what's behind that door. And everyone else is like, motherfucker, do not open that door. And they open the door, and it opens into a giant gladiatorial arena. And about 150 feet away from you, you see a large, scaled, fetid black dragon. And despite the fact that they're 150 feet away from you, as soon as they did a stealth check to open the door, but of course, the dragon's perception DC is like higher than their nat 20, right? So like, they did a stealth check to open the door, trying to open the door quietly, but as soon as you slide that door open, eyes dart to the left, notice you immediately. Faster than you can, like, they were right there and suddenly they're in front of you. And a dark, booming voice to tell you, come on in. Like, once that happens, they're like, oh, fuck. A character died in that fight, right? A character died in that fight. It was a survive. The dragon was kind of just fucking around with them because black dragons are sadistic, right? So, like, it literally was just, they fuck around with you for 5 rounds and then leave, right? They spend the first 2 rounds kind of sitting there and letting you hit them and only using their, like, reaction attack to, like, bat your sword away when you try, right? That's the kindest voice I've ever heard. Yeah. Like, it was very calm. It was very just like, let's play a game, right? But it was very much also like, at first, like it was very calm and like collected at first, right? And then the investigator tried to shut the door, and again it was like these big like ornate stone doors, right? So the investigator tried to shut the door, and then the doors weren't there anymore. And then he repeated it a second time, a little bit less kind. He's like, "Come in," and then it's like, ah, fuck. right? It's like, shit, we shouldn't have opened this door, right? So that, again, that was a fight where the wizard actually ended up dying, right? The wizard ended up dying, and people were like crying and shit, but the players loved it. I think that was their favorite session in the campaign so far, right? Because it was like that enemy was not just set up as dangerous in that session, they were set up as dangerous throughout the entire campaign, right? So when they finally show up, the door vanished. The door basically vanished. The door vanished in that the dragon just decimated it, right? Just knocked it down. They just like completely crushed it with their claw. So there was a door you were hiding behind, and suddenly there isn't, right? So that, like, it was very much like someone died, but because the atmosphere had been properly set up the entire campaign, it didn't feel like it was like unearned. It didn't feel like it was like sudden. It didn't feel like it was Rock's fault everyone died. It was just setting up, you know, how scary this opponent is. And it's like, we got to kill that guy eventually. That's one of your two final bosses. You got to fight him with someone else at the same time eventually, right? Which is just crazy how the scaling goes in Pathfinder, where a party of level 5 adventurers was completely hopeless against that guy. But a party of level 10 adventurers can fight him and the sorcerer at the same time. That fight's going to be hard as fuck, but they can do it. They can do it, which is pretty crazy, right? Glad to hear it went well. I could definitely see that going south insofar as the players hating the investigator for killing their character. Yeah, this is a group of close friends. Right? And people know, like, how it goes. And, like, to be fair, everyone was like, don't open that door. There might be, like, another fight behind it. None of them thought it was going to be that fight, right? Like, none of them thought that was going to happen. None of that thought that was going to happen. Like, none of them, like, they didn't go, oh, of course you open the door and there was the BBEG behind it. Like, they didn't expect that at all, right? They were just like, we need to rest and go back. So that, like, they didn't hold it against them too much. And besides, again, it led to, I think, like, if I had to ask, I think they'll probably, funnily enough, the person I am most certain that was their favorite moment was the player who died, right? The player who died, I am certain that was her favorite moment of the campaign. She was crying, man. I mean, to be fair, I was crying. Like all of us were crying. It was because she had such a nice, like, cinnamon roll kind of character, you know? Bro, you are skilled at telling stories. Thank you. So, like, I don't think that was a bad moment at all. But again, I think it's very important. You have to set the mood. If a player is, and that's honestly, to be a little mean to myself, I think that I didn't do that quite as well with this encounter. The encounter that they lost just now, I think that I definitely made it clear once the mob was there, I was like, you know, you hear the thundering footfalls and just like hollering and howling, and I had like some Battle Brothers Barbarian music that is very intense, if you know what the OST I'm talking about, right? And they're talking about how they're gonna rip your asshole out through your mouth and shit like this, right? And I'm just describing like the horde that is approaching them, right? But I don't think as they were approaching the camp, they realized that things could go quite so south. Right? I think I needed to, there's like a bunch of like skulls on, like, heads on pikes and like blood and gore and shit like that strewn around the outside of the camp. They were talking to the Dark Elves earlier, who are the other civilization this far underground, who have been telling them about how brutal the Urdefon are and how, like, fucked up and barbaric they are. But I don't think I set up quite how dangerous they were. I think because it's a side quest, they just, like, went in for the side quest to get the MacGuffin, right? They need a MacGuffin. They need 4 of the MacGuffins to stop the villain at the end, right? So one of the MacGuffins is in the Urdefon camp, right? These barbarians. So they were just like, this is just one stepping stone towards the end of the campaign, right? So I don't think I did a good enough job of being like, no. There's, like, a severe plus encounter in here, right? Like, you have to be real careful. They got the message once they saw when I was like, you know, the reinforcements were coming, and I was like, give me a second, just moving 23 tokens into the battle map. And they were like, sorry? What? 20? Say that again? You said 3, right? I said, no, 23. 23 tokens into the battle. They got it then, but they didn't quite understand what they could have gotten themselves into going into it, right? Which I think was maybe a slight error on my part, but gotta avenge the cinnamon rolls, yeah. You'd be surprised at how RPG players treat character death. One was happy because the conditions leading to his death were more interesting than the PC was before. Then he made a great next one. Yeah, again, people, they get attached to these characters And it was sad. Like, it was genuinely sad when the cinnamon roll died, right? He died in a fucked up way too. Because she is a cinnamon roll, and also because she had her own interesting, long story short, she was unknowingly, because there's a lot of undead theming around her, and she's like an outcast from her village and stuff like that. She was unknowingly used as a phylactery for a lich. This is technically not possible within I think the ways phylacteries are supposed to work. You're not supposed to have a living thing be a phylactery, but she was a lich's phylactery, essentially. But it was like a lich that was sealed away, and so they couldn't protect her herself, right? But the idea is they were working on eventually reincarnating themselves through her. So the dragon could sense that something was fucking wrong with her. Like, it was the only person there who was like, oh shit, what is in there? What? You guys are all babies. That one is scary, right? I don't know what's up with her, but I don't like her around. So they turned the fight into essentially a prolonged exercise of torturing the wizard while everyone else watched and going, join in. Hurt your friend or I'll kill you all. Hurt your friend with me or I'll kill you. And what essentially happened is the party did not, how I had it in my head, and I'd really tried to, and this one I think I'd explained well enough, is that black dragons are very sadistic, and they like to, like, they enjoy the pain of their prey and the suffering, and they're not just here to eat you. They want to really make you feel it before it happens, right? They enjoy fucking you up more than they enjoy the actual meal you're going to provide them. So I had tried to communicate to the party that, like, he really wanted them to join in. Like, one of the things here is he wanted to cause the mental anguish of forcing them to, like, attack the wizard while he was, like, holding her down with his fucking big-ass dragon paw, right? They were trying to be nice to her, like they were kind of stringing him along. Like, they were like, oh, yeah, sure, and they, like, smacked her familiar, you know? And like, she likes her familiar's a little zombie puppy. She loves him, right? They, like, smacked her familiar and shit, but they weren't doing enough. And he got kind of impatient. He was like, no, like this. And he just fucking bit down on her. Now, I thought that bite was going to hurt her pretty bad, right? He does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage, and she's a wizard, right? And like, I thought it was going to hurt. The problem is, I didn't quite do the math on, and this is still fine, but it caught me off guard. I didn't quite do the math on how much damage he does with a crit, because he crits her on basically any roll that he rolls, and he rolled on that 20. And I remember I rolled this dice for this bite attack, and I saw the 20, and I, like, literally put my hand on my mouth, and everyone immediately knew something was wrong, right? Everyone immediately knew something was very, very wrong. And I was like, so that's a 20. And then I was like, so I got a problem. This is like 8d12 plus 24. Right? Or something like that. It's like 6d12 plus 24 or something, right? So I was like, this is a slight issue. This is a slight issue. So I was like, here's the deal. If you guys don't know, wizards are very squishy. I'm sure you could figure that one out. There is a rule in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. If you ever get hit for double your max HP, right? In a single attack, not your current HP, your max HP. If something ever does double your max HP in a single attack, you die instantly. Normally, when you go to 0 HP, you get death saves, you go down, the party gets to heal you, all of this, right? D&D is the same rule. D&D's rule is actually meaner than Pathfinder's. D&D's rule, I believe, if you ever get reduced to negative your max HP, if an attack would leave you at negative your max HP, you die instantly. I think is what the massive damage rule is in D&D, which is a little meaner, because if you're on, like, 1 HP, it's easier to do that to you than if you're on full HP. The Pathfinder rule, specifically, is you have to get hit for twice your max HP. So, like, in D&D, if you have 38 max HP and you're down to 1 HP, a 39 damage hit would massive damage you. No matter what HP total you're at in Pathfinder, you would have to get hit for 76 to get massive damaged. It generally doesn't happen. However, when you have a level 5 wizard who is an elf, so she has a -1 to Constitution, and wizards are already a 6 HP per level class, and you have an adult black dragon who's level 12, 5 versus 12, critting on a Jaws strike, doing like 8d12 plus 30 or something. He didn't double her max HP in a single attack. And the way I narrated it, basically, was that after like 2 or 3 rounds of his impatience clearly growing with them not dealing enough damage to her, like being too nice and not hurting her enough. He basically just went, no, like this. And then he had the palm on her. He like flicked her up. Like she's in the air, goes for the chomp to catch her. And he was trying, it really was the, I thought you were stronger. He was trying to just bite down on her and like cause her excruciating pain. What he did instead is he bit her clean in half. Like straight up. He just went through her, and the bottom of her body was on the left side of his mouth, and the top of her body was on the right side of his mouth. And yeah, and she died immediately, suffering from being too sick in lore, you know. So, that was crazy. Like that was a very unfortunate death for sure. But again, man, like. That moment from when I rolled, like the 2 minutes from when I rolled to the 20 to when the wizard was dead was like some of the tensest shit we've ever had. Because he had like a 70% chance to kill her, I think, on the damage dice. If he low rolled hard enough, he wouldn't have done it. So like I was like rolling, I like double, triple checked the math, and then I didn't even tell them she died. I just narrated what happened, and they all knew, right? Was it like instant kill, or was it she managed to get some last words in? It was instant kill. Like she was talking the entire time throughout the encounter, but on that attack, it was just like it happened faster than they could really like. Again, he literally he was crushing her with his paw. It was just flick, like grab, and yeah, fucking she cried, I crowed, we all crowed, man, we all crowed. But it was a great moment. Again, like that player, I know for a fact that was their favorite moment in the campaign. Yes, you make a new character. How do you come back from that? So, there are revive spells, right? There are spells that can revive, but in Pathfinder, also, we'll watch this tournament, I promise, but you got me talking about Pathfinder, and I can't stop talking about Pathfinder once I start. In Pathfinder, it is a lot harder to revive people than in D&D. I believe in 5e, at least, Raise Dead is what, a 3rd rank spell? I think it's a 3rd rank spell, Raise Dead, right? What are we talking about? Pathfinder 2nd edition. Raise Dead is a 3rd rank spell. In Pathfinder, it's a 6th rank spell. So, you just need some cash on hand? Yep. You need the cash on hand for Pathfinder 2. It's more, and it's a 6th rank spell. So in most campaigns where they're 1 to 10, you don't even get access to Raise Dead, right? You get Raise Dead at level 11. It is one of the markers, like, they have it as one of the markers of, like, oh, I don't know what that is. It's a tabletop RPG. Think of Dungeons & Dragons. It's like Dungeons & Dragons. So it is a 6th rank spell, so it's like one of the markers of like you entering tier 3 play, where you just like level 10 is like literally superhero shit, right? Level 10 is like superhero shit, and like level 11 is like you're entering like the next threshold. So what's it called? So like I like that, you know, the ability to literally bring people back from the dead is like superhuman in Path, like beyond superhuman. It's like literally superhero shit to do that in Pathfinder, which I like. It makes death a lot more meaningful, right? What makes Pathfinder your favorite TTRPG if it is? Oh, this is a question I simply cannot answer because we'll be here all day. I'll tell you, okay. I think mechanically, it is incredibly satisfying. It is incredibly satisfying. It strikes an incredibly good balance of being balanced, right? It strikes an incredibly good balance of being a very balanced game where like you really can't break it feasibly while still allowing for lots of optimization and min-maxing, right? The way that it does this primarily as well, which is one of my other favorite things about Pathfinder, is that it encourages team-wide min-maxing. You can never just make one really optimized character and walk into a Pathfinder table and go, hello, I'm God now. No. The way the game is designed from the ground up, an entire party needs to work together. Now, a well-optimized party, like if all of the players in the party are optimizers, right? And optimizer in Pathfinder means they have really good teamwork as well, that party is going to be too strong for the normal rules of the game, right? Like you're going to have to, like that party can take on like multiple extreme level encounters, which in the difficulty balancing for the game, an extreme level encounter is supposed to be an even match for the party. You're supposed to use maybe one per campaign. Like, they recommend, like, the BBEG, maybe, is, like, an extreme encounter. Like, it's supposed to, because there's a 50-50 shot that a normal party will just TPK. And you don't want that many fights like that in your campaign. If you have, like, a party full of min-maxers who are good at the game, good tactically, and good at character building, and they're working together, that party can take on, like, multiple extreme encounters a day sometimes, right? That's fine. Like, at that point, it doesn't feel bad, right? I don't think it feels bad if the entire team is optimizing their ass off, and as a result, they kind of break the power curve a little bit. I think that's fine. I think the big problem with min-maxing has always been when one person at your table is a min-maxer and the other person at your table isn't a min-maxer, right? That's where the problems arise. Because then it's like, and when there's huge gaps between the min-max character and the non-min-max character. Because then it's like, all right, well, my choices are either I cater to the non-min-maxers and the min-maxer trivializes my entire campaign, or I cater to the min-maxer and everyone else at the table is completely worthless, right? Pathfinder does not do that. It fixes that problem by really like balancing it around teamwork inherently from the ground up. It also, as a GM, the difficulty, the encounter balance math actually fucking works. Listen. 5e is... I think 5e, again, one of the best defenses I've heard of 5e is that 5e didn't try to be anyone's favorite system. It tried to be everyone's second favorite system. And I think if through that lens, I think 5e is pretty incredible. It did a great job at that, right? I think almost, like if you ask almost anyone, their second, like either if it's their favorite or second favorite fantasy tabletop system, I think most people will say 5th edition, right? So there, you have like 4th edition heads, you have like, you know, like OSR heads, you have like Pathfinder heads, shit like that. Like maybe even 3.5, like even before Pathfinder, like D&D 3.5 heads. But like a lot of them will go, yeah, but 5e is pretty solid, right? But fucking, if you've ever GM'd D&D, you know this shit. What the fuck are they doing with CR, man? CR is not a system. They desperately try to get you to believe that challenge rating is challenge rating, and that, you know, a CR2 creature is a fair challenge for a party of you know, level 2 players. But it's not true. It's just not true. Like the gaps between CR, like there are some CR2 creatures that are like a fucking like the Banshee is like CR3 or something, isn't it? Like what are we doing? What are we talking about? And then that's not to mention the fact. So the actual Pathfinder encounter balance and just game balance and in general is very good, and it doesn't break down at higher level play either, right? Pathfinder is a game that you can unironically play at levels 11 to 20, right? And it remains balanced. You can actually, the players get ridiculous, but look at the Grim Reaper stat sheet and tell me that shit isn't just not fair, man. So you can actually play this. You can play level 17, 18, 19, 20 campaigns. The players do scale faster, right? Like certainly, you know, at level 1, the players have a very hard time fighting a level 5 creature, right? But at level 16, they have a pretty easy time fighting a level 20 creature. Like they could do that shit for real, right? They could do that shit for real. Like in fact, you probably have to throw a level 21 creature at them, like because the players get so they get so many tools and their characters get so versatile, right? But again, the monsters, dude, it's fucking like the Grim Reaper is a level 21 creature. It's not fair. He puts disadvantage back in the game. Disadvantage isn't a thing in Pathfinder 2nd edition. But everyone within 60 feet of the Grim Reaper has disadvantage on all their ability checks and attack rolls, right? And like, they have a save that if you fail to save, you die. When the Grim Reaper critically hits you, right? When the Grim Reaper critically hits you with a scythe, you have to make a fortitude save or die on the spot. Not critical failure, regular failure. But guess what? The players can deal with that because they're just that strong. Understandable considering what the Grim Reaper is? No, fair. Except, you're right, you're absolutely right. But also, the Grim Reaper is level 21 creature. The stat sheets go up to 25. So it's like, there are numerous ways still to challenge even a party of level 20 adventurers, right? Even a party of level 20 adventurers, there are numerous ways that you can maintain a challenging and tense scenario. Well, now they'll be going from fighting bears to fighting avatars of gods, but you can still challenge them, right? I caught bro streaming finally. Hello. I heard 5e level 15 plus is like unplayable. Now this, I have no experience with that firsthand, but that is what I've heard as well. Is that it becomes very difficult. Not only does it become very difficult to actually meaningfully challenge the players, but you hear about the martial caster divide in 5e a lot too, and like it exists from like levels like 7, 8, 9, 10, stuff like that, right? Like it exists, but it gets almost like unclosably bad at level like 15, 16, 17, 18, right? Like the druid and the fighter are just not playing the same game anymore, right? The barbarian and the wizard are just they're from different manga continuities, you know what I mean? Just because of how strong like 8th rank spells, 7 rank spells, you know, are, and like just the sheer amount of shit you would be able to dip into through multi-classing as well. Now, of course, the martial could just multi-class into a caster, but at that point, it's not really saying the martial caster divide isn't a thing. It's just forcing the martial to become a caster to stay relevant, right? That, by the way, is another. Again, this is a dangerous question. Can you play this stuff online? This is a tabletop role-playing game, so it's like you play it with your imagination. Weirdly enough, it's the imagination game that you played with your friends on the playground when you were younger, but with rules attached to it. Essentially, you can play it online, but it's not like a video game. It can be played as a pen and paper role-playing game, but there are a lot of like virtual tabletops that make it a little bit more video gamey, which tend to be very nice because they automate a lot of occasionally annoying bookkeeping for you, right? It's funny because to me, I prefer less crunch than 5e and overall open-ended rules. 5e, it's a really awkward point where there are better systems for everything it has, at least individually. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think you're right, Shadow. Like, but I think that is kind of, they didn't try to be like, if you like 5e has like a little bit of crunch, right? So if you like really crunchy shit, then you're probably not going to. 5e's not going to be your favorite thing, but you might be like, there's still enough crunch in 5e for me to like sink my teeth into, right? And if you don't like that much crunch, you might be a fan of more narratively based story. You might be like, oh, Call of Cthulhu is my favorite tabletop or something like that, but you probably kind of fuck with 5e still. Like they did try to make a tabletop for everyone, and I kind of understand it, but best way to explain it, I always think of playing pretend, but we made rules to stop the kids saying I blow up the sun. Yes, exactly. Martial caster in D&D is wild, especially if you wanted to be a sword and spell character. I sit there and go, huh? Yeah. I do think 5e is a great system for a first go, introduce people to the idea of role-playing tabletops. I think a lot of other tabletops are much easier to get into than they are made out to be. But I do think 5e is a good system to introduce to. It's kind of like because most people already know what it is, right? Most people have a vague idea. Like, even if you're introducing people to Pathfinder or to Fabula Ultima or something like that, you will probably say, it's like D&D, right? Like, it just serves as a great gateway because enough people, like Stranger Things or, you know, Critical Role or whatever like reason they have to know of its existence. It's like, it's just a quick shorthand of like, okay, this is roughly what it is, right? But yeah, man. Pathfinder, again, the martial caster divide, some people will tell you it goes the other way in Pathfinder. I don't think so at all. Some people will tell you that martials are stronger than casters in 2e. I don't think so. I think probably on the whole, I would say like casters are probably still better. It's just a little hard to really balance the sheer versatility that they have. But it's very close. It's debatable, right? Which is good. It's debatable, genuinely, right? The beer, this is awesome. I do love this. Oh, French Canadians. Oh, Seahawks plushie back there.
Would be fun to have another event.
What is happening on screen? The boys are fucking having a wonderful time, man. This happened in Ottawa, I think.
Yes.
Would recommend again.
Oh yes.
Reminds me when I use a co-op games like Baldur's Gate, we agree not to use haste to trivialize the game. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like certainly, again, that's the another thing I really like about Pathfinder 2e is you have to do. So that's in Montreal. Oh shit, my bad. My bad.
Saves us time though. Thank God.
Bit of a shout out to him though. He made quite a
that explains all the French Canadianness.
As we're getting into it, though,
what was I gonna say?
Team kill, it's gonna be UL versus Belial.
Oh yeah, you have to do very little house ruling in Pathfinder 2e, right? Like you can if you want, you can. But like to keep the game like balanced and functioning, you have to do almost nothing. Now, if there's a rule that you don't really like how it works and you'd like it to work differently, you can have. At the end of the day, it's your game, right? You can house rule whatever you want, but you don't have to house rule anything, right? I don't know yet. I know it seems much easier to build a sword spell in Pathfinder than BG3. Yeah.
Been on the come up.
I think a lot more builds are strong and viable in Pathfinder generally. Best introductions IMO are the very rules light, so it's easy to pick up and lets them get used to being able to solve shit through whatever you come up with that second. Yeah, but I think it's one of those things where okay. You know what? This is my one actually main criticism of Pathfinder 2e personally, is that Pathfinder has a rule second edition especially, maybe I'm sure first edition was like this too. Pathfinder second edition has a rule for everything. If you have come up with, like, the thing that really surprised me is not only does Pathfinder obviously have rules for fall damage, that's normal, right? Pathfinder has a rule for what happens if you fall on a guy. What damage does a guy who you fall on take?
A bit of a shout out to Year as well.
If I jump 30 feet off of a roof and fall on my barbarian, how does that affect him? That's codified in the rules. There's no GM fee out there. That's in the rules.
Mayhaps. We never know.
So, like, it's got a rule for everything, which is really nice because it means that a lot of the times, if you're like, I wonder how the scenario works, it's probably codified, right? You probably can just you can just point to a rule and go, this is how it works. But I think it gives players the impression that they can't do anything, right? Not even improvised projectile roll, specific guy-on-guy action. Yes, like, what happens if a actor falls on another actor? Straight up. Right? Depending on how far they fell, and I believe also size categories. Like, if a large creature falls on a medium creature or something, I think it had something like that. It had, like, some clause for size categories. Like, if a gargantuan creature falls on a medium creature, it's, like, worse for them than if, like, a medium creature falls on a medium creature, I think. That part I might be making up. I know, but I remember something like that. But anyway, the problem, that is a nice thing in a vacuum, but the problem with that is I think it gives players the impression that because there's a rule for almost everything, if you come up with something you want to do and there isn't a rule for it, then you're not allowed to do it, right? Which isn't true. There's no part of the rules that says that. There's no part of the rules that says this book is an exhaustive list of actions you can take in the game, right? But it does give players that impression, right? Or like, some of the feats that some characters have, like, the recently released or play-tested Daredevil class. There's problems with the Daredevil, by the way. If you're up to date on the Pathfinder 2e lore, there's problems with Daredevil, but like, they have a feat that lets you grab a guy and knee them in the balls, right? And if you knee them in the balls and you succeed that attack, they're sickened too, which is really funny. I think that's super fucking cool. I think it's dope that the game says you can grab a guy and knee them in the balls, and there's a debuff associated with that, right? It does more damage than normal, and you debuff them if it hits. That's great. But because there's a lot of cool feats like that, I think sometimes a player might go, if they know that feat exists and they want to kick a guy in the nuts, they might go, well, I don't have the Daredevil feat, so I can't kick a guy in the balls. No, right? Like, you absolutely can you can do whatever your mind comes up with. Just at that point, the feats get used as a reference point, right? So, if I see that the Daredevil feat does extra damage, makes someone sick in one, well, I don't want you to do it better than the Daredevil did, right? Because at the end of the day, if a Daredevil spends a feat on that, they should be better at kicking dudes in the nuts than you are, right? They should be better at kicking guys in the nuts than you are, because they spent a resource on that. They spent a feat. They made a character-building decision to kick a guy in the nuts, right? But if you still just want to kick a guy in the nuts because it's funny and you think it will be effective, I'll just give you a worse version of that, right? Maybe, exactly, you're just a hobbyist ball kicker, man. Maybe the Daredevil could do it for one action, and I'll make you take two, right? Or maybe, for the Daredevil, it did 2d6 extra damage and made them sickened 2. For you, it's 1d6 extra damage, and they're sickened 1, right? But you can absolutely, like, this is my one criticism of Pathfinder 2e, is it says this somewhere in the book, but no one reads the rulebook except for the GM anyway. It says this somewhere in the book, but I think it needs to be much more open and upfront with the idea, right, that just because you don't have a feat for something, or just because one of our millions of extremely detailed rules doesn't cover something you want to do, doesn't mean you can't do it. This is still, at its core, a tabletop role-playing game. We are playing pretend. One of my players is missing the balls, making me laugh way too much. Kick him in the dick. One of my players is very creative. I love her. I love having her at my table, right? They were in a room full of cobwebs because they were fighting, like, it was like covered floor to ceiling in spider webs because it was like fighting a bunch of giant spiders that had nested there, right? And she had a lantern, right? And she was like, if I just use a little bit of magic, right? Light my lantern up, right? Make the fire a little bigger, and then just throw it at the cobwebs. They're all flammable, right? I was like, yeah, they are. And she's like, and webs burn like really fast, right? And I was like, yep. And she's like, is this kind of like a fireball? And I'm like, you know what, motherfucker? It kind of is. Yeah. Like, you're level 2, but I'll let you cast Fireball on this room if you give up your lantern. That's awesome, right? That's amazing. Now, I want to warn you, your party's in the room too, right? You are aware? She goes, yep. I go, okay, cool. Yeah, you Fireball the room, right? Like, yeah, you Fireball the entire room, including your friends, right? But she was playing, like, a very, this is a very unhinged character who also died in that dragon fight, actually. But, so it made sense, right? So, like, yeah, you Fireball the whole room, including all of your friends. But it's awesome. I'll give you a hero point for that, right? It's a natural part of the Fireball spell, exactly, yes. The Friendly Fire, it came free with your 3rd rank spell slot. So, like, you can absolutely still do that, right? Like, she couldn't cast Fireball, and there is no rule in... Honestly, knowing Pathfinder, there fucking might be. But there is no rule for throwing lit lantern oil at a room densely packed with cobwebs, right? But just because the game is so descriptive with what you can do, doesn't mean that anything it says you... That it doesn't say you can do, it's saying you can't do, right? But that is my one, like, major gripe with the system, is it doesn't make it clear enough that that is the case, right? D&D, not to punch at 5e here, but I think I'm not trying to punch. It's punching up, right? D&D. I once had the friend of mine who got me into Pathfinder 2nd Edition and TTRPGs in general. He once described it as like 5th edition is not a big fish in a small pond. 5th edition is the whale that is beached on top of the pond. That is so large, the entire pond is covered to any outside observers, and most people don't even know there's a pond there. They just think the whale is the only thing there. He's an English major. He had a great way with words. So it's like, this is beyond punching up to do this, right? 5th edition is 1,000 times the size of Pathfinder. But in 5th edition, so much shit is not in the rules, and the rules for so much of the shit that is there are bad, that players get very used to the idea of, like, I'm gonna have to figure out how this works, right? Or I can come up with some shit and the GM will right, will let me do it. It's just like, it's just how, like, you have to. It's the only way to, like, feasibly play a game of 5th edition, is to constantly be using your imagination to make shit up, because the game doesn't do enough to allow you to do that, right? Pathfinder suffers from the curse of, like, the game is so well defined that you genuinely could just go off of only the things that are hard codified in the rulebook, and you still have like 12 different options on your turn, right? Like, it's still, you can still play like a very varied, expansive turn after turn after turn. It's deep tactical combat with lots of choices. It's awesome. But because of that, and because of it not quite doing a good enough job of going, right, like, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Make shit up. Make shit up. Make shit up. Make shit up. Do what you want. Do what you want. Like the 5e rulebook does do. That's true. It doesn't do quite a good enough job of that I think a lot of people get the idea that that's not the intention. That's obviously the intention. It is in there in the rulebook, right? It's in there in the rulebook multiple times of, like, if you don't like a rule, by the way, fuck the rule. At the end of the day, the most important rule is that you are the GM and you are the players and you guys make a game that's fun for you. But it doesn't do it enough for how well written it is. It's a weird problem to have. Hello, Vossaraga. I'm doing great. I'm fucking yapping about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which means I'm having a wonderful time. Having just an amazing day. It doesn't do it enough. That is my one gripe with the system. But, like, unironically, that is my one gripe with the system. It feels like everything else about it. I mean, it's my favorite game ever. Like, video games or otherwise. Like, I usually will say, I used to say that Elden Ring was my favorite video game ever, because when I say video, I mean that Pathfinder is my actual favorite game, and it's not a video game. But now, I say that Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, is my favorite video game ever. But it's still not my favorite game ever. My favorite game ever is Pathfinder 2nd Edition. PF2 is the best, by the way. I love it. I love it so much. I genuinely cannot get enough of it. Like, I cannot... If you... Umusume is so based. I love it so much, man. It's like 2E is not even. I think 2E gets 1E was incredibly crunchy. 2E can be very crunchy. But the nice part about 2E is that the difference between a guy who just got his key ability score to 18, right? You convinced me to go learn Pathfinder the next time a group starts up. I gotta go sleep, but thanks for the app streamer. No worries, man. At the end of the day, the difference between a guy who just, like, got his key ability score to 18 and, like, you know, picked the feats that sounded cool enough, and the guy who was like pouring over every option min-maxing, it's like a 20% power difference. That's not nothing, but it doesn't have to be crunchy. You know what I mean? If you just want to like make a cool character concept and then just play the game and then you enjoy the tactical combat, right? It's like, it's not, it doesn't have to be. Now, it can be ridiculously deep, right? You're like, I'm gonna go through all 250 alchemical items to find the optimal mutagen for my, you know, for my fucking Magus, Drakeheart mutagen, alchemical archetypes, like fucking Shadow Hunter Assassin. Awesome, right? Yeah, you can spend 15 hours building a Pathfinder character if you want, and you're gonna feel a benefit from that, especially if you're in a party of min-maxers with you, right? But if you also just want to say, I have a character concept in mind, and I want to do something cool with it, and I don't want to get too deep into it, I just want to make something strong, also super easy, right? So I think a lot of PF2's crunch is if you want it, you can have it. You ever think of streaming a Pathfinder campaign? Probably not, just because that would involve the consent of 4 other individuals who aren't me, right? Thank you. That would involve the consent of 4 other individuals that are not me. So probably not. Plus at that point you have to probably like get people scheduling a lot more. Like it becomes a bit more of like a production, right? Like that you have to like actually make sure people like can stay on schedule and shit. I mean, eventually, I will say, if I ever like, you know, if I can ever end up doing this shit as like my actual job, I do want to go back to focusing on the content creation stuff a little harder. Now that I'm settling in at work a little bit, like I feel a little bit less overwhelmed with my new schedule and stuff. But if I can ever get to do this as like the main thing that I do, and if I ever get big enough that I can like give my friends a job that makes their life easier, you know what I mean? You know, TBR tips are for my friends. I'm not doing that shit on camera. I mean, definitely, like it's nice to not turn everything you do into like a job. But if I can like basically, if I can like give my friends a podcast, that means they don't have to work anymore or something like that, and they're interested in that, I'd be down as fuck, right? But obviously, I'm orders of magnitude off of ever being able to do something like that. But it's an interesting idea. But certainly not anytime soon, no. Can you just ignore the rules no matter the system? Yes. At the end of the day, it's play pretend, right? At the end of the day, it's play pretend. So as long as everyone at the table is okay with it, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. If everyone collectively agrees that it'll be super cool if your it's rule of cool is what it is, right? If everyone agrees that it'd be super cool if the fighter could jump 30 feet into the dragon's mouth, climb inside him, and cut him out from the inside, right? And you know, you guys all agree on like a mechanical framework for that happening. If there's nothing in the rules that says that can happen, fuck the rules. At the end of the day, the point of the rules is to facilitate a fun game for you and your friends. Right. Yes, it's very different. Streaming a TTRPG is very, very different, I'm sure, than just playing it with your friends. But I think it could be fun. There could be fun involved in both places. With the usual how bad is it to try and make a balanced build in a campaign? When you say a balanced build, do you mean like a Gish, like a spell blade or something like that? Like a martial and a caster in one, or what do you mean exactly, Midnight?
Honestly, yeah, that's pretty much it.
You know, I went to his Tabletop Society and recently straight up went, alright, this week we're booking books for one-shots for most systems. We call it anything but 5e week, you know? I think it's based. Lancer is the other system that I really want to try. Like, even-ish stat spreads. That you'd definitely be missing out on a couple of things, because generally, it's actually very fine with the game's math to be okay at a lot of stuff. But you probably want to have one thing that you're pretty good at. Right? Because the problem with and I love this system in 2e, but 2e has 4 degrees of success, unlike 5e, which kind of mostly has 2, sometimes 3 with critical successes. But almost every action in Pathfinder 2e can either succeed, critically succeed, which is either if you beat the DC by 10 or more, or almost always, with like a few exceptions, if you roll a nat 20, right? If you beat the DC by 10 or more, like if you have to hit a 15, hit a 25, it's a critical success, right? Or if you roll a nat 20. Or you can fail if you don't meet the DC, or you can critically fail, which is if you fail the DC by 10 or more, right? And generally, a lot of critical, not on strikes, you can't critically fail a strike, but most everything else can critically fail. Strikes can only fail, succeed, or crit succeed. Like a basic attack, right, cannot critically fail, because that would probably suck. But it is kind of difficult to not have one thing that you are pretty confident is going to reliably succeed a lot of the time. Because generally, failure does nothing, and critical failure will often have a detrimental effect to your character. As an example, grappling someone Very strong in 2E, by the way. I think much stronger than it is in 5E to grapple someone. If you succeed, what about a throw? Yeah, if you try to grapple someone, it's an athletics check against their fortitude DC. Think of fortitude like a constitution save in D&D. It is just your constitution save. There's only 3 save categories in 2E. I think it's like D&D 3.5 was like this. You have fortitude, which is constitution. You have reflex, which is dex, and you have wisdom, which is you have will, which is wisdom, right? So you make an athletics check against their fortitude DC. If you succeed, they are immobilized, they can't move. They are flat-footed, which means they are easier to hit for the rest of your party, right? And if they try to do anything with the manipulate trait, like cast a spell or like pull an item out of their pocket or something like that, they have to pass. They have a 20% chance of just failing it on the spot and wasting the action, right? If you critically succeed, they are restrained, which means they can't do anything except escape until they try to escape successfully, right? So it's extremely powerful to restrain someone. Restraining someone basically kills them until they escape. They can't do anything at all except for try to escape. If you fail, you just don't grab them. You wasted your action, right? You wasted your action. You got multiple attack penalty, which don't worry about that. But if you fail, you just waste your action. That's fine. If you critically fail, though, right? They can choose whether to grab you or trip you. Like, they can choose they want you to be grabbed, or if they're not a very burly guy, they can choose for you to fall prone, right? Which is quite bad for you. It's a much bigger deal than it is in D&D as well, because standing up can trigger reactions, and also, you also become a lot easier to hit for everyone, and you take a penalty to attacking yourself, and it doesn't take half your movement to get up, it takes one of your 3 actions, which is very important, right? So, a balanced build, almost everything you do, especially if you were fighting stronger opponents, would have a pretty decent shot of failing or crit failing. Whereas, so you wouldn't have like a bread and butter, you know what I mean? I think you could make it work. But it is not the recommended way to build a character. Like, it's not like unviable, right? If you wanted like to have, you know, +2 and everything across the board or something like that, you could get pretty close. I think you could do 2-2-2-2-1. Right? 4 2s and 1-1. If you wanted to do that, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it would need a specific build. Like, I would say that'd be like, you would need to know what you're doing to build that, right? That's like a min-maxer who's trying to make something not as good work. It's like, if I pull out all the stops, how good could I make this build that isn't that strong? But at the end of the day, if you were like, you know, if you were like a fighter and you had 2 strength, 2 dex, 2 con, 2 will, and 1 charisma or something like that, you'd still be hitting people, right? And in fact, I mean, your will save is probably better than most fighters, right? Like, you're probably like, you're 2+2 in dex, you can still wear medium armor just fine, right? A lot of the medium armor, like, you'd be fine, but you wouldn't be specialized at anything. And Pathfinder definitely seems to want you to at least be specialized in one thing. The things that you aren't specialized in aren't useless, but you probably want to have one go-to thing that you're really great at. It also helps you have a identity within the party, right? Like, it helps to have one guy who's like really good at bonking shit, and one guy who's really good at like scaring people, you know what I mean? And one guy who's like impossible to hit, and one guy who's really good at like magic, you know? It's nice to have niches, but you can make it work. I usually try and build my characters into some single-player D&DS games I've played is usually do 3 stats that are a little higher than average, 2 that are slightly lower than average, and 1 stat that I pray doesn't get checked. I imagine that is somewhat balanced. Am I wrong? That's somewhat balanced. Okay, I will say, you get a lot of ability boosts in Pathfinder. At level 1, you'll have 9 total, right? So generally you can do like 4, but you can only stack, there's 4 different phases, and you can only put 1 into each stat per phase. So generally you'll have like +4, +3, +1, +1, or you could do like 4, 2, 2, 1, or something like that. Like an 18 strength, a 14 dex, a 14 con, and a 12 will, and a 10 charisma, or something like that. So you can get that kind of out of the box, right? You could do 3, 3, 2, 1. You go 3 strength, 3 con, 2 dex, 2 will, 0 charisma, or something, or 1 will, 0 charisma. You could do that. And then when you hit level 5, you get 4 more attribute boosts. So you could then go like, you know, 4, 4, 3, 3 or something. And then when you hit level 10, you get 4 more again. So you can end up being pretty balanced. But at level 1, you probably want to have some specialization for sure. Right? You probably want to have 1 stat that is like an 18, probably. Sometimes 2 16s. But your most character, all classes have a primary stat, you generally want at least a +3 in your primary stats, I would say, right? You want a +3 at least in your primary stats. If you go lower than that, you're probably having a rough time. But I mean, if you're doing a +3, that's what you're talking about, Midnight, right? That's 2 stats that are higher than average, or 3. I get 2 stats, right? It'd be +3, +3, +2, +2, 0. Right? No, 3, 3, 2, 1, 0. So 2 stats that are higher than average, 1 that is decent, 1 that's kind of low, and 1 that you're hoping doesn't get chipped, essentially. Right?
Oh, yes.
But Justin showing.
So you can get kind of balanced, but again, probably better to specialize at one thing. It's almost always more fun to focus on being good at more specific things than going jack of all trades. Means it's easier to have every party member go my time to shine. Exactly, yes. Pathfinder is very big on niche protection, which is another thing I love about it.
So we will see how this goes.
Anyway, hey, remember when there was Granblue on my screen? Hold up.
And Justin
Lock in, man. Fart. Okay, hold up. I just realized. I locked in immediately to see Fart Crew Justin. What the fuck? What is happening here? Fart Crew? His shit is literally called Fart Crew? Okay, man. That's fine by me. I'm down for Fart Crew.
Get as much damage as you can on Cagliostro show without letting her breathe.
Fart Crew versus Risotto. What's the Quebec flag on both of them?
Hello? The lows.
Ow.
With the brave
Those
counter,
conversions the
and
ball
this
gets off
is
counter hit
gonna
2M are
be
so
it.
nice, man. The fact that his counter hit 2M goes into his far edge is
What
amazing.
a quick first round from Justin.
Man, and Justin, playing it well, knowing, hey, I know you don't want to see this cut.
One of my campaigns I enjoyed the most was one about hunting the supernatural, where I was the guy who especially was talking to the cops and being a distraction in fights. I pulled my weight. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, interesting.
I like that. That was an
Pathfinder Yap stream with Granblue in the background is peak. I'm afraid. I mean, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I love talking about Pathfinder, man. If you think I can yap about other shit, like if you think I can yap about Granblue or like Uma Musume or something, you haven't seen me talking about Pathfinder, man. It's like my friends seem to enjoy it as well, but it's a landmine. If you like mention Pathfinder, I mean, it's been what? It's been like an hour and like 20 minutes that I've been talking about it already, right? Something like that. If the word Pathfinder comes up, I'm likely to go into a at least 60-minute gush session about it. Came into Pathfinder talk, which I've heard is pretty sick. I think so. Yes. I mean, of all of the things that I do for fun, I could not recommend any of them more highly than Pathfinder. Of all of my hobbies, whether gaming related or otherwise, there's nothing I could recommend more than get a group together and play Pathfinder 2nd Edition, however you think is the most fun. On topic, what is CAG J22U for now? What do you mean? What is it?
Justin barely living on that round. With
that's the air trap, right?
You gotta remember, this is only loser 7.
I'm gonna go build a character in a minute. Y'all have fun, yo. I have like a Excel sheet full of Pathfinder characters I'm never gonna get to play. Luckily, I can make like if I make an NPC who's like an adventurer, I can just whether they're like they're gonna be working with the party a lot or just gonna show for like a little bit or something like that. I can just make them one of my builds, so it's very nice. I have a party of 4 mercs that is very relevant to my other in the campaign I was running with the dragon. That are just 4 builds that I've made that I want to see in action. I haven't tried out Pathfinder, but I mainly just do 5 ESUPs to what most people I play with locally play. Yeah, that is definitely how it goes. Most of my friends were like, they played tabletop games before, but none of us were like huge tabletop gamers. But then I got hugely hooked on Pathfinder, and I was just like, hello. It was an Armaya sticker. I was like, come play with me. And they liked me well enough that they were like, sure. And then they actually ended up liking it. So, all right. Talk a lot about niche stuff. Skill monkeys are a thing too. They're fun to play as long as you don't hog the spotlight. Yeah, man.
Oh my God!
That was what?
Oh, it tried to bait
what? It caught the teleport?
Gonna be the mix here. Oh, tried to grab.
Is he the world's greatest? Does that beat her if she DPs there? Is he not in DP range?
Oh, it tried to bait a throw.
Hold on, is he the world's greatest?
Gonna be the mix here. Oh, tried to grab.
No, I think he gets hit by that. That is like the ultimate option select. If that beats CAG DP from there, because CAG DP does not have a lot of horizontal range, right? If that would wait out her invul and kill her, because it would do the same. Like if she DP'd there, she would get hit too, right? But she just did like L spare body or whatever. Skill monkeys are great. Rogues are really good at that in Pathfinder too. Like they definitely are still the primary skill monkey. They can be trained. There's I think 15 or 16 skills in Pathfinder. They can be trained in every single one at level 1 if you want. It's awesome. On an off note, my tooth just kind of decided to start falling apart today. It doesn't hurt, but I can feel a somewhat substantial piece missing. That happened to me. Keen-eyed, eagle-eyed viewers may note that I'm missing a tooth. My right, yeah, I guess right. My right incisor is almost entirely gone. I was just eating a pizza crust and it came out. Now, to be fair, my dental hygiene when I was a teenager was well, when I was a kid and a teenager was horrendous. And as an adult, it could use some work, right? So I'm not too surprised that my teeth are just falling apart. From my teenager days, I think I have a filling in every tooth in my mouth. Genuinely. I think I have a filling in every tooth in my mouth, and a lot of my teeth are root canals. There was a good period from like 13 to like 19, probably my entire teen years really, where I just like didn't really brush my teeth. Very much like it was a very rare occurrence. I'm not proud of it, but it was true. And during that time, yeah, the dentist just went to town on my entire mouth. No, it's fine. That's probably okay. Don't read into it too much. Now, the good news, kind of, is that I can't really get toothaches anymore because most of my mouth is dead. Right? Like, I can't really feel much of anything in most of my mouth. The bad news is that my teeth are very just weak, right? They're very fragile. So like a few years ago, I was just eating like particularly crunchy pizza crust, and I bit into it, and my incisor just came out in the pizza crust, which is certainly not normal or good. Oh, nice DP. That was guaranteed too, right? Like as soon as you see her do that, you could try to like spot dodge and do some shenanigans or something, but like as soon as you see Kag commit to this, she's just dead. That was a straight up reaction check, and Fart Crew Justin had that shit down, man. That was very good. Air teleport? Oh, in the sense, it's not invuln, but it's like an anti-air, kind of. It can be. There's no invuln on it, but it is a bit of an air stall, right? It can also be a reaction check, because if you block it, Kag's plus, right? So like, it's not a great move, but it can be a reaction check slash kind of an anti-air. But if you want an anti-air, her air U-trap is much better at that. So it's mostly a reaction check to get plus frames, right? You can like insta-jump do it as a throw bait too. You can like instant J22U, and if they do like a 2L or something, you'll counter hit them. And on counter, it's a full combo. But it's probably better to do J22H for that, because it doesn't scale the combo as much, right?
Oh yeah. For those who don't know, like,
so it's more of a niche move now for Kag, certainly. It's a tooth that had a filling, I was told a couple years ago, wasn't filled right. I'm not surprised it's doing poorly, more surprised it doesn't hurt at all while happening so suddenly. Yeah, I mean, depending on, like, a root canal, they take the whole nerve out, but a lot of the times, if a tooth, it has like a big filling, it could be that the part that's falling apart is the filled part, which isn't the tooth, right? There's no nerve there. Like, you're only gonna feel pain if, like, your actual nerve is either being decayed by bacteria or if there's, like, inflammation around it or something like that. If the tooth is, like, 50% filling and the part that's falling apart is the filling, it's rocks, right? It's metal. Like, it's not, that there's no sensation there. It's not connected to the nerve. That's basically what it is for me, is, like, I haven't had, like, a root canal in most of my teeth. I've had, like, more root canals than I should have at this age, for sure. I think I probably had, like, 6 root canals or something like that. But, like, most of my teeth are not root canals. However, most of my teeth are primarily filling at this point. So, there's just not very much room to even get a cavity that isn't just, you know, metal going bad. Arrive late, so something random like grilling veggie burgers on bonus ads. That would be fun. I mean, personally, not a big veggie. Well, okay, I say that. Can I? Is it like fucking contrarian or like trying to aura farm or something to say that? Why have none of these been counter hits, by the way? All of these should have been counter hits. What's going on? Is it contrarian to say that, like, a lot of this veggie shit is not nearly as bad as, like, meat eaters make it out to be? As a meat eater myself, it's, like, not meat, obviously. But, like, even, like, a bad veggie burger is, like, well, I mean, it's not like it's that bad, man. It just tastes like it just tastes like grilled fucking mushrooms or something. Like, maybe it's because they're all like, oh, this thing says it's like, it tastes just like a burger. It doesn't taste like a burger. I'm not even talking about, like, Impossible Meat or something. I'm talking about, like, some shitty-ass veggie burger that you would get in, like the frozen section of a grocery store or something, right? It's not that bad. At the end of the day, it is still just, like, seasoned vegetables. Like, maybe if you're really looking for that meat texture, then sure, but, like, it's not bad as a food item. It's fine. I feel like, you know, a lot of times on these fucking, like, if you go, like, a food review channel or something, and they're like, you know, the new veggie burger, and they take a bite, and they, like, fucking spit it out, and I'm like, alright, man, like, go fuck yourself. Right? Like, go fuck yourself a little bit. right? Yeah, like would I rather have a cheeseburger or like a black bean burger? I would rather have a cheeseburger, right? Like, or like I want to say like, you know, with a cow. But like, it's not bad at all, right? Like it's not, like it's still, like it's good food most of the time, right? And I say most of the time because I mean there's shit meat burgers too, like there's shit everything. There's a reflexive reinforcement of cultural norms with that kind of stuff, yeah. Like it feels, you know what it is? It's fucking performative, okay? If you have like a veggie burger and you go, oh, what is that? Or you fucking spit it into your hand, like it's performative, man. Like it's okay. You know, big cow isn't gonna let you hit, brother. Like it's fine. We don't think you're more masculine because you don't like veggie burgers. Like it's okay. Right? It's a different thing than meat than the world opens up. Yeah. Fart Crew tag? It is the Fart Crew tag. Fart Crew, Justin. What an amazing name. Health food was notoriously terrible until recently. I mean, to be fair, most of those veggie burgers aren't even fucking health food, man. Like most of them are fucking. They add so much, like fucking oil and shit and like other shit to make it like the texture fit right and stuff. It's not even health food. It's just like meat replacement, right? Most health foods, like if you're talking about health food, like stuff that is like the reason you're eating it is because it's good for you. Most of that shit is still terrible. But like you're like, well, it's good for me at least, right?
If I get one hit here, it's over. And they did count the round this time.
I tried the bean-based ones. I like beans. I like those, yeah. If you're not familiar with veggie burgers, mix them with normal meats, make it a side, and learn to appreciate it. I mean, to be fair, for some people, I think, like, if you can eat meat, sure, yeah. A lot of people obviously are eating the veggie burgers because they can't eat meat. But...
He tried to do the EX.
Is that guy Irish? It's a very interesting accent I just heard. It was very cool.
Just kind of feeling each other out right now. We're starting to play a fireball game.
Wait, I don't know, man. It's performative. It comes off as very performative to me.
No, that's just a very light DP. It's very fast. It's very fast in the recovery. Oh, do we get it? That's a huge combo.
That will be.
Brother's outside right now. I hear him fucking hacking up his lung.
I like it. Right here.
He got the he got a flu shot and the COVID shot on the same day, which is interesting choice for sure. He's real. He's feeling the side effects of both of them right now. He got his shit rocked. Food is food for me. Now I will say I am an incredibly picky eater. Incredibly. Like I'm very vibes based, right? I'm very vibes based. Like there are sometimes sometimes I'll just like if the first time I encounter a food, it kind of like it smelled a little funny or it looked a little funny or like I didn't like the fucking texture of it in my mouth or something like that, I won't eat that shit. You know what I mean? And it becomes like a block for me where I'm like, I don't like this food. And if I try it again, I have like the memories of the first time that I didn't really like it. Like I'm a very picky eater. I don't know if it's like I'm a child, possibly, like partially at least some of that for sure. I don't know if it's like I'm a child or if it's like genuinely like a sensory thing because smell and texture are huge to me. Like almost as big, if not bigger than taste, right? Like I've talked about this a lot, but like I can't eat a banana because it's smelly. They smell, man. They're so smelly to me. I don't fuck with it at all. So I'm extremely picky, and yet the veggie stuff is like it's fine, right? I don't really like many veggies or black beans, so meat replacement stuff just wasn't meant to be for me. No, it's okay. Again, it's like it's a different thing if you're like it's not like I don't like it that much. But like people act like that shit isn't food. Like, oh, how do you eat this stuff? It's like, come on, man, shut the fuck up. Like if you're like personally not for me, valid, man. I mean, I can't say anything on that. Like there's like so many foods people like that I'm just like I just don't like it personally. And that's okay. But I'm not gonna go like I don't like sweet and savory combinations in food most of the time. You know. So like I don't really fuck with like Korean fried chicken that much because like a lot of Asian food in general, they really like that mixture, right? They love the sweet savory, and I can see the appeal. I'm not gonna go and tell you this shit is ass because I don't like it, but I don't really like it that much, right? Now I love Korean fried chicken if it's just the fried chicken. You know what I mean? Like the way they make the chicken is awesome. But like when a lot of like the more traditional shit where it's like sauced up and shit. Don't tend to fuck with it too much. Don't tend to fuck with it too much. Does Vera need Super Saiyan Lesbian to convert out of 214H? Yes, unless they're all, well, I think even in Super Saiyan Lesbian, I don't think 214H is a combo starter raw. But I believe in the corner it becomes one. And you get better combo, like it's a slightly higher bounce basically. You get better combos off of it if they're already airborne. Because in base, you can convert off it if they're airborne, right? The H Scarlet Oath. Okay, I'm actually losing my mind. Why are none of these punishes? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Why have none of these DP punches on Belial been counter hit?
Oh my god.
Like, This is like making me question, like this is the 7th or 8th time it's happened. It's making me remember, like question if I remember the mechanics correctly. That's a counter hit, right? Like that's a non-metered DP. If he blocked and punished it, it should be a counter hit. Why are none of them counter hits? Did I see that wrong? Like that wasn't a counter hit, right? Like the DP is here. DP. It's not a counter hit, but it's still a punish. What is happening? Am I forgetting how the mechanics of Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising for the Nintendo Switch 2 work? This is not the first time it's happened either. It's happened like 7 times, but I haven't really made a note of it. But now I'm like, what? Belial cheating once again? Belial's DP is counter hit recovery, right? Like I'm pretty sure he didn't like. How? Like, how do you get the punish but not the counter? Trading modes? They're in a tournament set. This has happened multiple times, by the way. Is Belial DP one of the ones that isn't like Charlotta's? Charlotta's is too. Charlotta's is every single meterless reversal without exception is counter hit. What is happening here? Like if you didn't get the punish, I'd get that, right? Like if you missed the punish but you just hit him, sure, but it's a punish. What's going on? Is it because the first part didn't hit? It shouldn't be. As in testing that in training mode. Oh, aren't all heavy DPs big counter? Maybe because the first part whiffed? Okay, wait, that's interesting. If the first part whiffs, is it not counter hit? This is weird enough, I have to test it. Let's boot up real quick. This is strange enough, I genuinely need, because like, it's happened so many times, but you're right that most of the times it's been where the upward part misses. Is that a save? Ult? I don't think so, right? That'd be a very interesting... I don't think so, though. That would make 2-part DPs like Charlotta and Belial much better than they already are, even, right? I mean, Charlotta's has its weaknesses, but Belial's is just perfect. It's even less minus than every other DP in the game. Come on, come on, come on, come on, let me in. Alright, so hold up. Belial. Now let's even have Belial here to punish him. Why was that not counter hit, man? The first part whiffed, they blocked the second hit, and they far L'd it. Let me not make sure I don't have auto counter hit on. I do. There you go. Turn that off. Set him to stand, and then just DP. Whiff the first part, hit me with the second part, and then I mesh. Yeah, what? Counter hit. If the whole thing whiffs and I hit him, it's counter hit, right? Look, the whole thing whiffs and I hit him, it's still counter hit. What is happening here? Again, I don't have auto counter hits turned on. Belial punishing Belial, he'd like that probably. True. What is going on here?
Oh my god, that backdash just to space out.
He used M to hit? It was a far L, I think.
Pedro really backdashing just to get...
Look at this. Whiffs the DP. First part whiffs, second part connects. He far L's him. No counter hit. What is this? The game doesn't work this way. This was played last week, not like on a different patch or something. Back to work. I know it looks like a simple thing. I literally have no explanation for this whatsoever. How this could possibly have happened. Am I like missing something? What if I do it really late? I mean, if you can block it, yeah, but it was a punish. Is it a bug with Vera specifically? Like genuinely, it's like a bug with Vera's far L where it doesn't register those. That's close L. Like genuinely, I'm like, no. What is happening? Like I don't know how to explain to you. This is just like not how the game works. Like I know it's not that big of a deal, but like it's kind of a huge deal to be fair for one. But also I know it's like a small interaction, but like it's just, oh fuck, this just isn't how the mechanics of the video game work.
Because yes, Belial does have a lot of damage, but so does Vera too. But I feel like it matters in the tools that they present as well. I feel like Vera has a lot of ways to
he tried to
wait, what? That wasn't counter hit either? Spectating bug? Ooh, spectating bug. Spectating bug. That sounds right to me. Though,
It's kind of weird when you say like so much damage.
like this is counter hit too. Give Daddy some sugar over here is also counter hit.
I feel like Vera has a lot of ways to
Belial. It was a punish. It's not counter hit. You get close H any. What? Again, just for reference. This is absolutely a counter hit. Right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like that should have been, and they got punished again, right? I can wait as long as I want. If it's a punish, it's a counter hit. That's gotta be a spectator bug, right? Like it's the only way that makes sense.
To do the taunt, but that did not work.
I don't know.
I mostly mean in the fact
I mean, it's just such a simple interaction that
there's
there's nowhere to dig. Like it just has to be a bug. And spectator bug seems more likely to me. Isn't this a live event? Yeah, but they're still spectating it in the room, right? Oh, no, you're right.
plus frames.
Wait, no, you're right. No, I see what you mean. Wait, it can't be spectator bug because we're really just looking at the screen that they're playing on. This is their versus. Oh, whoa. Is this some versus mode fuckery? Hold. You're right. Yeah. Sorry, no, you're right. There's no spectator. Both of you guys are correct. Yeah. Zan and Drake, you guys. Wait. Is this like a because it's versus mode? Like, is there? I mean, shit is still counter hit in versus mode. Like, why would it be different? Like, there's no way they like accidentally had a handicap on or something. Even then, that's not what handicap does. If it wasn't a punish, should he still be on his ass? Seemed like he was crouching. Vera 668 will do that to you regardless, yeah. Wait, what? Why can't I play the game? There you go. Vera 668 will put you on your ass like that, regardless of whether or not it's a punish. But I guess it's gonna be hard to test this in versus because the AI is gonna have to play along. But yeah, no, it doesn't have to be counter hit for it to put him on his ass like that. I mean, no one in chat is talking about it like it's weird, but also it's a Twitch chat watching a tournament stream. No, they tend to be focused on other shit. I just don't know. I just don't have an explanation for you. That is. It can't even be a spectator bug. That is a supremely strange mistake or bug or whatever is happening. It's just not how that shit works.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. We're getting the conversion.
Whatever, man. Cool.
Yes, we got the corner. No, not gonna go for more. That's
why. It was a shimmy.
Nice shimmy.
That's why again goes for
shimmy
the
neutron.
And we're gonna get even more. This is gonna be close. This ain't gonna be.
Ow!
Kill, but it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna be like
don't
pixel.
press
I swear.
the start button.
It's a pixel.
That's what I said.
Whoa, Sajam?
Oh, but Pedro not afraid.
Whereas the Quebecois would say Sajam?
But that's gonna be a punish.
Maybe?
Yes.
Is that anything?
Back. It's round 3 in game 3.
2 quick rounds right here.
Basically.
These have been great sets, though. I will say, like almost every fucking set in this shit. I think we had like 1 3-0, but like it feels like every set in this shit has gone to game 5. And we're not. This doesn't necessarily do. Or is this?
Goodness.
Oh, that's gonna be a. No, not quite a punish.
This is obviously isn't game 5 yet, but it's looking that way. I mean, there's been close games. Fart Crew Justin and Poach P. Again, what is happening, man?
We're in the corner now.
Why is that not counter hit? Imagine you try to go for a counter hit close H combo and you don't get the counter hit say it's a pretty big deal. It's a huge deal.
Oh my god. Oh, we're so close again.
Why was that not that again? That DP. Why was that not counter hit?
Oh my god.
No
this
way.
is taking away both crystals. This is doing so much damage.
Well, I don't get it, man.
This is. I swear it's pixel again. I swear it's pixel.
Counters are just the friends we imagined along the way. I guess. That's not quite a pixel. That's a little bit more than a pixel. But...
Oh my god.
Text the grab.
Oh shit.
And Justin.
Shit.
Pedro. Fuck. Like.
Get me in here. What the fuck? How did VR lose all her health already? Oh, 6XL combo. Classic. It's more damage than I'd expect, honestly. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why it's more damage than I'd expect. The command grab reset. I was like, how did a 6XL combo do like 6k in the mid-screen? Belial isn't quite built like that. His mid-screen damage isn't bad, but he's not built like that. Off of 6XL? I don't think so. I was right.
Bit of neutral for those two.
Ow. Ow.
Caught him, but
Oh, nice challenge. Oh, you're dead as fuck.
God,
That's it.
converted?
I think that's it.
Yup.
Yes.
Yup. Nice. On the counter hit close age. There's a shit ton of hit stop there, but it can still be weird when you get those big aerial hits, right? To convert that shit properly.
And now Justin on
It can still be tough.
baby.
And Justin feeling confident on this.
I do love the fart crew tag, man. That shit is so good.
Unfortunately, looking so difficult to even get that reply back.
I'm definitely rooting for fart crew Justin.
Pedro getting that button, but Justin not making sure.
I miss going to locals, man. I've only ever done that for Smash, but it was so fun.
Pure neutral play right now.
Just like get a community of people, you start like training together. People like came over to our like student house and shit, and we just ran sets. Like you have people who like it's a fucking sports anime, man. Like you have guys who you're like training up, and then you have people who are like your demons, you know. You have your mentors who are fucking helping you get to that next level. That shit is so good.
Oh, got the command grab.
This is gonna be the install.
Shit is so fun.
Oh,
Ow,
baby,
ow.
no way, no way, no way. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Maybe when I move out, I'll find a local near me. I need to get a car.
Not gonna kill, but
Not having a car makes it so much harder, but it's so much money, man. It's so much fucking money, man.
Unsafe on hit.
Nice.
No way.
no way.
I can't believe it. And
Wait, unsafe on hit? Wait, I missed. I looked away for a second when I was lamenting how much money a car is.
say it ain't so. This isn't gonna
Oh, say what?
No, this is not gonna kill, but this is gonna put Pedro really in a bad situation here. No more crystals.
on hit. No way.
Yeah, the 2H was unsafe on hit. Yeah.
And in this case, now
Yeah, it's tough.
the W
I mean, to be fair, I think that's...
grand finals
I feel like a lot of 2Hs are close to that, right? At the very least, most 2Hs are minus on hit,
was crazy.
right?
And now Justin outdoing himself.
They are designed to be canceled or to be counter hits, for sure.
Game. I'm gonna put
Cost so much money to live? Yeah. Like, not having a car, man, it just makes it so much harder to, like,
the Grand Blue Bay.
do shit and go to places. You know what I mean?
Versus Ontario Grand.
Especially when it gets fucking bad in the winter. It's like, I want to go to, like, a jiu-jitsu class. You know, I used to, and it was really fun.
However, I'm not
I want to go to more martial arts classes in general. You know, I want to do some jiu-jitsu, I want to do some boxing, I want to do some wrestling. That shit sounds awesome. Great way to work out and become a fighting game character myself in the process. That shit is so good. But, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I know, like, it's part, like, I just know myself that, like, at some point I'm going to be like, I don't want to fucking bus for, like, 50 minutes in the winter or in the rain or even sometimes in the sun. Sometimes I'm just lazy. Sometimes, you know, a car is just so much more convenient. Sometimes I just don't want to wait for the bus.
Definitely has the more
You know?
greater results while Justin is kind of just getting back into the swing of
Like, if a place is too far away, then suddenly it's like, it's really annoying to get there with transit. I mean, Toronto's got good transit, but transit at the end of the day, you know, unless it's like,
Thank you so much for
it has to be really good to be as convenient as a car, right? And we're definitely not there. We're definitely not there.
of course. And a big thank you.
I bought all my cars used for like 2K to 3K. They last at least 7 years each. Yeah, but that's not okay. The upfront cost is one thing. The other problem is insurance, though, right? Like it just suddenly insurance and gas and shit. It's like suddenly it adds like fucking $500 a month to my my expenses. You know,
On loser side, let's start those grand finals.
like the upfront cost is one thing, and I will say I think a 3K used car that's pretty hard to find these days. But you could certainly probably get something for a little more that isn't insane. But yeah, it's like the upkeep cost, right? How recent was this tournament? I believe this was like a few days ago, actually. My 2H launch is grounded. I wonder how common that is. Ladiva's does too if it gets both hits. I faced when I still don't have a car. I absolutely hated driving when I was learning. I was so stressed the entire time since my peripheral vision is really bad. Oh, I mean, that would make it tough. Yeah. No, that would make it tough. If you have bad peripheral vision, that would make it pretty hard. Driving is probably the one place where your peripheral vision is like actually the most useful, right? Maybe I'm sleeping on my peripheral vision for like walking around and shit, but I feel like I don't usually use it that much. But when you're driving, you're using all fucking 100. Well, I mean, some of us are fucking driving with our eyes closed, apparently. But by and large, you're using all fucking 130 degrees of your vision cone or whatever the hell it is. What is your vision cone? It's like, it's not 180 because 180 would mean I could see both of my thumbs right now, which I can't, right? It's probably close to like, it's like 150, right? Like your vision cone is pretty. Obviously, like, I think you only get, like, 2 to 3 degrees of, like, focused vision or something. Like, your actual focused vision is very small. But, like, everything you can see, like, where your blind spot begins, like, right around here is where I stop seeing my finger. Now I see it, right? Don't see it, see it. So, like, this whole angle,
Making a run on this.
it's like 150, yeah.
Oh, it's Justin
They're missing characters on the select screen. They're definitely playing an old version. What the fuck? Wait, but that means if they're playing an old version, who's rattling the... Wait, they are? Old? Oh my god, Sandalphon's not there. Sandalphon's not there. Look. Let me get my controller. Wait. What? Yeah. He's not there. Wait. It's a pre 2.0 setup? Oh my god. I'm watching the wrong tournament. I'm watching the wrong tournament, man. This is a tournament from last year. I was so confused. There's a tournament. This version of the tournament, I think, happened a few days ago. I'm watching the wrong tournament. You know what? Let's watch the grand finals anyway. Wait, why are they not Brave countering more? Brave counters plus on block, people. Are you for real? I am. Listen. I blame you guys for fucking getting me distracted with Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm watching last year's version of this tournament. Streamers too busy thinking about Pathfinder? Dead ass. Why aren't they Brave countering more? Don't they know it's plus on block? Don't they know this shit is plus on block? Grand Blue Time Wizards? For real. Okay, I was gonna say, that's just not how the game works. The DP has to be counter. I almost got like, I was about to go fucking Mythbusters on this shit. I'm just watching. Look at this. I'm just watching a tournament from last year. Out of curiosity, hold up. Yeah, these are not the guys who fucking streamed. Someone else streamed that shit. That's awesome. You know what? It's okay, man. It's all good. Players are just more respectful back in the day. And then the woke left. Where'd they all go anyway? It says last year right there. Oh yeah, it does. It's a tournament from last. I just wasn't paying attention. But hey, I mean, it's still been fun, no? Don't you love how much Belial we're seeing? That is crazy. That's got to be one of the more L streamer moments of my entire life. Well, you guys are fun. I'm having fun. You guys are having fun. That's all that matters at the end of the day. It's the rule of cool. If I say the tournament from last year happened last week and we all agree that that's dope, then that's the new reality, man. Seeing is in fact believing. Seeing is in fact believing. I'm like, this is crazy because Brave counters plus on block, fellas. I mean, it's last year, so who even knows, but it wasn't Dark Arts or Sorcery. Yeah, it was the most powerful magic of all. Friendship? No, what the fuck is wrong with you? Chronomancy! I've told you this before! It was Chronomancy. Ow, 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 ow. I was wondering about the insane amount of Belial 2M as well. I'm actually floored by how little these guys are Brave count. Now that I know this is fucking pre-Sandalphon patch, I am floored by how little these guys are Brave count. You just died with 3 Brave points. Okay, now I'm backseating. Now I'm like, what the? Do you not realize the Brave counter is the strongest guard cancel in fighting game history? Maybe even still today, and it's even better right now? What are you guys doing, man? Give me a good laugh, bro. Thank you. Yep. I cannot believe that explains a lot. It's like, why? I like booted up the game. I was like, that DP is counter hit, right? I started wondering, like, is Belial an exception? Does the Belial privilege really go that far? I come from the future. You'll miss this gift once it's gone. I don't think. There's got to be a guy, right? There's got to be one guy. Because there's always one guy. That's throw punch, but he doesn't know. There's got to be one guy who thinks that Brave counter is, like, or who is sad that Brave counter is not +6 anymore, right? Like, that guy exists. There's no way that guy doesn't exist. There has to be a guy who is like, this game was better when Brave counter was +6. I have to, I don't know him. I bet you don't know him. But he's got to be out there somewhere. I'll have to woke up my kitty. I blame you, streamer. I'm watching the wrong stream, man. I'm watching the wrong fucking stream. Ow. Oh, bro thought he aired the Mac. I played games with meterless guard cancels. Grand Blue is probably the best from games after 2000. But where are those meterless guard cancels plus on block? Thoughts? Did they lead to hard knockdown Oki on hit? Have you considered? I was honestly wondering too, and someone was like, bro, this is an older version of the game, and I literally sat here in silence feeling so damn stupid. That's like, to be fair, that's like, I did not think that I would be so incompetent as to do that, but okay, you know what? You know what, man? I got a fucking excuse. I'm EP. Hey, you know, long-time viewers, as in people who were here 2 hours ago when I first said this, I'm EP, man. I'm fucking EP. I spent all day helping out a friend at a convention, at a card show. It was cool. It was dope as hell. But I'm EP. Okay, so you can't even, basically, I'm completely not liable for my actions. And if you claim that I am, you're probably racist. I know I look like if I shaved the beard, I would pass for Italian, but like, that's spicy white. You could, I don't know, man. Give me something. Give me something. I was shocked today. I looked down at my hand and I was like, when did I get so pale, man? It got me fucking talking to my hand like I'm Modulo Yuji. Like, were you always this white? I haven't gone outside in too long. I mean, the winter is part of it, but also I've been too ever since I started streaming, man. It's just like a lot of my free time was like looking for jobs, and then I got employed, so then it was working, and then it's like after I work, I fucking stream, you know. I spend too much of my time indoors. I'm fucking. They got me. I'm Michael Jacksoning this shit. I mean, I was never black, but like. When I look at pictures of me when I was a kid, man, I was like dark skinned. You know what I mean? Like I was like chocolate bar colored, genuinely. He's white collar maxing. Yeah, now look at me. Look at this shit. Not to take away this really quickly. I'm like Mediterranean now. I looked like milk chocolate when I was a baby. Though it was weird. I just always, I've been very flip-floppy with my skin tone my whole life. There are pictures of me as a baby where I'm like porcelain white, and there are other pictures where I am like, I mean, tanned is not even the correct word for it. Sorry, man, you don't pass the melanin test? I mean, I'm definitely not black. I am, again, technically African, I guess, because Egypt is an African country, but like to be Egyptian is to be mixed inherently, right? There's been so much different colonization, and it's also at like the intersection of Africa, Asia, and Europe, basically. So like to be Egyptian is to like inherently be mixed race, which is why I'm so hot, right? Like that definitely is that's why I'm so fucking beautiful, because you know mixed people are always the most attractive. But it also means, you know, I might have the curly hair, but my ass cannot say the N-word. Which honestly, probably pretty good trades to not have to deal with all the bullshit that black people have to deal with. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. The pass, call me crazy. The pass ain't worth it. The pass ain't worth it. Now, like the soul and the art and all that other like dope shit they be doing, like maybe. But the pass by itself, that's definitely not worth all the shit they experience in exchange. Slay Queen? I am kind of fucking. Well, I'm not. I used to be a lot more snatched. I got fat, which is also based in some ways. I've becoming kind of a fatty boy. I've been just eating. Guess what? I've been loving life. Okay, I've been loving life. But I am trying to, mostly because diabetes and heart disease both run in my family, I've been trying to be a little bit more careful about it recently. I'm like 96 kilograms right now, which I'm 5'9", bro. That's a chunky boy. That's a chunky boy. I also have not been working out very much, so like some of that's muscle, most of that shit is not muscle. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that, oh, bro, it's all muscle. You can look at me and tell that shit's not all muscle. 5'9", 96 kilograms, or for the freedom units, what is that shit? 2.2 times 2.2. That's like 211 pounds, right? Something like that. That's a big. That's a big boy. It's a big boy. I'm trying to get down to like 80. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get down to 80 by the end of the year. If I can get down to 80 kilograms, that's probably not too bad, or at least close to it. You know. Oh wow! Hope you become Wellness IRL. I do want to. I do have a little home gym here. I do use it occasionally, but I've fallen off hard. 220 pounds? Yeah, there you go. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. I want to be a little less big. 211, actually? It's 211 exactly? Dude, there's no way. My mental math is incredibly based. Rick's a chonker? I am a heckin' chonker, and if you don't watch yourself, I will do you a heckin' frighten. Okay? So you better not step to me and my avocado toast and my Starbucks latte art. And my skin color is vibe based. My eventual goal for my weight would be like 170, since I think the 160s would be too light for my height. Yeah. I mean, 80 kilograms is 2.2. 80 kilograms is what? It's 186. That's probably pretty. Like I'm fine with that. I'm a chunkier guy naturally. Like I know it's like the classic excuse of like I just have like I'm just like I just got a big frame. I'm just big boned. I think I genuinely am. Like even in times in my life where I've been like decently in shape, I've still been like 180. You know what I mean? Like I am literally just a wide boy, I think. So if I get down to like 186, 187, that's probably fine by me. I'm 100 kilograms, but I can lift the fridge, so I don't mind it. That's true. I would also be very fine. It's not the number is really what's important. It's just that I know that right now that a lot of that number is not guy being strong. It's guy eating a lot of food, which is awesome, man. I love food. But again, you know, all great things must come in moderation. Was that 2-1 or 3-1, by the way? Yeah, 2-1. Okay. I was gonna say I think I would have noticed if it was game point, right? I mean, I know I literally watched the wrong tournament, but like nice walk under. That honestly, doing that walk under a year ago is kind of huge. That's actually like having that tech down already. That's pretty good. Can you help me move my new fridge? I'm small and helpless. There you go, Nameless. We got a job for you. Hey, Brick. Hello, Fox. Other Fox. You got Phantom Fox and Frozen Fox. And I suppose Foxy Mommy as well. I want to cosplay Lucy, so I gotta be skinnier. I mean, getting an accurate body for Lucy cosplay is gonna be hard, considering he is literally a god. As far as like all the muscle and shit, but like, you know, you can be a little bigger than the boy. As long as you got the moves. But yeah, personally, I mean, maybe it's actually not the best thing for my health. Not probably still better. I have found I have the most success losing weight when I don't change my diet at all, in that, like, I still keep eating all the same shit I'm eating, you know? I have a birthday cake in my fridge right now because the early part of the year is a very fattening time for a guy like me, because it's my brother's birthday in February, followed by my mother's birthday in March, followed by my birthday in April, with Ramadan and Eid happening in the middle, right? So there's a lot of celebrations happening. So I got a birthday cake in the fridge. I'm gonna keep eating shit a lot of the time. But I'm just gonna eat less of it. Like I have found the most success going like, instead of having 3 of this thing, what if I had 1 of those things? And what I find a lot of the time is that like most of the I'm often eating for satisfaction, which is fine. Eating is fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But the goal there of like, oh, that's tough. That's game. I just want to set against... No! Kaibutsu! Are you dead? Lives those? Wait. Dude, you could have killed. Holy comeback. Jesus Christ. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I have found that because a lot of the times I'm eating for satisfaction. Like, I'm eating because food tastes good and eating food is fun, even after I'm full. But it turns out that you get a lot of that satisfaction from, like, just from a much smaller portion of food. You know what I mean? They just, like, even if I want to have, like, birthday cake, because I'm like, I want something sweet. I want sugar in my mouth because it tastes so good. If I have, like, a giant honkin'-ass piece of birthday cake and, like, a full glass of milk, that shit is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But if I have a slice of birthday cake that is literally 1/4 of the size and, like, 1/4 as much milk, it's still awesome. Like, very rarely in my life have I been like, wow, I wish I got more food. You know what I mean? It's a very rare occurrence for me. Because in reality, as far as satiation, I have a very small stomach. You know what I mean? I feel full very quickly. I just like eating, so I'll keep going. And I feel full very quickly, but it takes a lot for me to feel, like, uncomfortably bloated. You know what I mean? I'm full, and this is also, wait, hold up. What the fuck? He is Aaron Damac. He thought he was Aaron Damac, and he is Aaron Damac. Dude, what? This clutch is crazy. This clutch is actually nuts. What was I fucking saying? Oh yeah, like, I have a very big window in the middle there between, like, I'm full and I'm comfortably full for, like, a lot of food. You know what I mean? Like, I have to eat a lot to get, like, uncomfortably full. So, like, a lot of the times I just go past that full threshold and keep going. Turns out, like, I don't really need it, though. I don't feel better. Like, I'm not happier eating more food. I still get, like, the yum, food is yummy, and eating food is fun feeling. Eating, like, half of the portions I normally do. So, it really is just a matter of controlling myself when I'm scooping the food out. It's not even, like, controlling myself while I'm eating the food. Because once I'm eating the food, I'm like, I'm in paradise. What Small and helpless will do well in asking for help. True strength is in community. So big. Giga-based. I literally just started cutting out the carbs. I'll eat prawns and broccoli. Don't need to add rice or pasta to every meal. Valid. That can certainly make it easier. But for me, I like carbs, man. I love carbs. I'm just going to keep eating carbs, but like instead of eating like the whole fucking honkin' heckin' chonker bowl of rice, I'll like have like 150 grams of rice or something. 100 grams of rice. Right. Turns out, like, if you have 100 grams of rice and 100 grams of meat and 100 grams of veggies, that is a fun meal. Like, that's a good meal. Like, that's filling and it tastes good. Or, if you also just want, like, fried food, it's like, I'll have some fried food, you know, but I'll just, like, instead of just, like, having as much of it as I can eat, I'll be like, I'll have, like, 150 grams of this fried food right here, you know? Like, fried meat. Like, there's like a beef schnitzel thing, because schnitzel's chicken, right? No, I guess schnitzel is meat, right? There's like a schnitzel type thing that we eat in Egypt a lot of the time, and I think just like a Middle Eastern Arab thing generally. It's fried meat. It's awesome. Like, it is literally deep fried beef. That shit is amazing. Like deep fried. I'm like salivating talking about it right now because there's some of it in the fucking kitchen and I want to go get it. But it's like deep fried, thinly sliced beef. That shit is amazing. That's one of the best things you could eat. I'll eat that, but I'll have, like, you know, instead of having as much of it as I physically can, I'll have like 150 grams of it. And guess what, man? I'm like, while I'm eating this shit, I'm like, that was awesome. Once I'm done, I go, that was awesome. I don't go, I want more food. I just go, that was awesome. If Justin wins this, by the way, this is fucking crazy. Oh, it's a reset still. Fuck, yeah. I started eating slowly so I can recognize being satiated before bloating myself in food. I am a slow eater by nature, which is nice. I am a slow eater by nature. Like, I always, when I go out with my friends, I'm always the last one to finish his food. Though, that is also usually because I am talking the entire meal. I am also the in-meal entertainment and or annoyance, depending on how much you like my yapping. With my friends, though. They all like it. That's why they're my friends, probably. They probably wouldn't have been if they didn't. It's kind of an unavoidable part of spending time with me is that I'm going to ask you about what, you know, how many times you could break your elbow before you would rather, you know, have your taste through your asshole instead or something. I mean, unironically, I'm combining two conversations that I had with two separate friends right now. I just like talking. But yeah, a lot of it is usually because I'm talking while I eat. But even if I was just eating, I eat slow. I like to savor the food. I like to taste that shit. Reset is crazy. This felt like it was over multiple times. To get this reset is actually nuts. Like, I know this shit is a year ago. That shit is still hype. I don't know who won this. I don't know who won this, like, regional tournament. The Sewell have put me in physical pain. It was tough. I mean, you know, it's, you know, they were so close and it slipped out of their hands, at least temporarily. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Unfortunately, like, grand finals of a tournament, it's a very cruel mistress, right? Because it's both the place where you can afford to make a mistake or, like, drop a combo or do something unoptimal. It's where you can afford to do that the least. Conversely, that's where it's the most common and most likely to happen, right? It's kind of, it really is fucked up if you think about it. We shouldn't allow this. I mean, I assume Justin's got the momentum on his side now, right? It becomes a mental thing of whether or not Kaina can claw back from this. Ow. This is before UL could get close H into H Fox Flame too, right? Like way before. I yap a lot, but I'm also a fast eater, so either finish my meal immediately or kind of just forget we were having a meal. Yeah, that's fair. I'm both. Like, I'm a yapper and a slow eater. So, like, if I am eating by myself, it takes me a while to get done with my meal. If I'm eating with, like, friends or family, it never ends. Like, I actually will eat over the course of, like, an hour and a half.
Not on this one. Not on this one.
Even then, even if you blocked it, unfortunately,
he was starting to get the momentum on his side.
Yes, it felt like
I do wanna reset is a little unfortunate because I do want to head out kind of soon. Just because I want to spend some time with my sick brother before he goes home. Sick isn't like, you know, like the flu, don't worry. Nothing's too wrong with him. If something was too wrong with him, I wouldn't be here right now. I would still like to spend some time with him before he fucks off. But it's okay. There can't be too much Grand Blue left, right? They're not going to take this to Game 5, final game, final round again, right? They're not going to have this 10-game Grand Finals happening right now. What the fuck was that combo? I didn't even know she could do all that. What the hell?
Oh, but the projectile misses.
DP into 5L into super? I usually don't yap when someone asks something about electricity and my bitch ass turns into the nerd emoji. That's interesting. We do love people being passionate and or knowledgeable. Honestly, usually and about some shit, right?
no escape, Kaina. You can't get away
Good confirm. I guess maybe couldn't get close L, close H. He's probably worried about the spacing there because of the pushback on EX's Modius baseline. They're finally Brave countering. Don't they know that Brave counter is +6 on block, man? I mean, weirdly, because Brave counter is +6 on block here, you actually don't see Brave counter get blocked too much, right? Like nowadays, you see way more people running up and doing like a close L meaty to block a Brave counter. It's just not that worth it here. Because like when you block it, you lose your turn. It's like you're actually just seeing a lot more Brave counters hit. People are just like much more willing to do like 6-6L Oki or something like that and just take the soft knockdown Brave counter because there is no reward for baiting it. Right? In some cases, like against like Ladiva or something, blocking her Brave counter was literally worse than getting hit by it. Especially if it was not counter hit. You would rather get hit like soft knockdown by Ladiva's BC because she often wouldn't get Oki off of it. You would rather have that happen to you than block it and get put into a 50-50. Like it's so dumb. When you block it UBC, then they BC, then you BC. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That being like the optimal play too is pretty annoying. It does just lead to like blocking a BC means you're just putting the round on super speed mode, which is kind of shitty. Nice. Okay, I mean, this is good by Kaina. Again, like that reset should be a pretty mental shattering thing, right? But not very much. They are holding that shit, holding on to that shit. Not passionate, it's just my job. Nobody's ever going to ask me about Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey from the Nintendo DS to know what my passion is. See, this is the difference between you and me, right? No one in my friend group was ever going to ask me about Uma Musume Pretty Derby. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to talk to you about Uma Musume Pretty Derby until I get you to watch the entire anime with me, as I have done with two of my friends now, start to finish. They've watched all 3 seasons of the anime and both of the OVAs and Sin Gray, and I brought both of them with me to the beginning of a new era screening. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to ask me about my passions. I'm going to yell them at you. I'm going to yell them at your face, and you are either going to decide that this is annoying and you don't want to be my friend anymore, which is totally valid, or you're going to like it because you like listening to people be passionate about shit, and then you're going to just get into them yourself, right? Those same friends and 2 other people as well, I yapped to all of them about how amazing Pathfinder 2nd Edition was, and now the 4 of them are my players in the party IGM. You know what I mean? Don't wait for people to ask you about your passions. You'd be surprised. People love... I mean, I know this applies to me both ways, right? Like, whether I'm the guy listening or the guy talking. But, like, people love listening to a guy or anyone talk about something they're super passionate about, right? It comes through in how you talk about it, and it, like, just gets people invested and energetic about the thing. Passion is contagious in the entire human race, even if it's something that they don't know anything or about or care about. Even if it's not going to get them into it, like maybe they're not going to decide to play Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, right? But they will still really enjoy hearing you talk about it, and they might even ask you to do it again. I would recommend do not wait for people to ask. If they really fuck with you, they'll enjoy seeing you being happy when you talk about a thing you really love. I played SMT, I played SMT 5 for like 10 hours. Inugami is hilarious. He looks like never should have smoked that shit. Now I'm Inugami. It's a fun game. I just kind of fell off it because I was playing on my boy's Switch. I split people between IRL shit yapping only or anything goes. Yeah, me personally, I don't know if it's like, as I've grown older, I just don't care for the people who I can't, like, I have like a lot of acquaintances, I guess, but like, I just don't like having people where I can't be my full self with them anymore. You know what I mean? I have very little patience for that these days. These Raging Strikes, so many different Raging Strikes have gone amazingly for Justin here. That's insane. I respect your passion for Uma and listen to you talk about it, except maybe the math of it, but it's not a series I'm interested in outside my surface level interest in a couple characters. Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't even have to be something where, like, I'm going to talk to you about my passions and you have to get into them. It's more just like, I'm going to talk to you about my passions as like an interesting conversation topic, you know? And then you tell me about something you're passionate about, right? Some people just like to be listeners. There are, like, I think I gravitate towards, at least a couple of my very close friends are certainly, like, listeners. Like, they really enjoy not being the one to have to carry the conversation. Like, they like conversation, but they don't like talking. You know what I mean? Like, they like socialization because everyone is a social animal, but they don't like being the person who has to come up with what are we talking about. Like, they hate that moment where it's like one topic ends and it's like air. It's like, so, how's your job? Right? They hate that. So they enjoy having someone else sort of just have shit to talk about so that they can listen and engage in the conversation. So, like, even if you're not going to be, like, it's like, oh, I'm not going to listen to you talk about Uma and then play Uma, but you might just enjoy it as a conversation topic. It might just be a fun thing to talk about, right? To hear someone fucking yap about that shit. The first group of my parents, people I'm working with, oh, valid, yeah, but I mean, those aren't, I mean, your parents can be your friends, but not necessarily your friends, you know what I mean? I'm talking about with like, do not share your passions with people you don't trust, because, I don't know, sharing more of yourself with someone you don't trust is always, like, sharing is always an opportunity to, like, you're giving people the opportunity to hurt you with the things that they know about you, right? Like, that's all that shit is. And that sounds very bleak, right? But that is why, like, trusting people is so beautiful and lovely, right? Is the idea that, like, I'm going to tell you all these things about me, and in so doing, there is no way to truly do that without giving you the opportunity to fuck me over, but I believe that you won't do that. You know what I mean? Ow. This is a great... Justin's conversions have been ridiculous. How did this happen? I feel like Kaito, both of these sets, right? The grand finals and then the reset, Kaito won the first 2 games both times, but... I don't know, man. Let's go, Justin. He's got like fucking crazy mental or something. Or his Fuselet level adaptation. I don't fucking know. Oh, he's command grabbing. No, he's fucking twerking on it, man. He's twerking on it. He's twerking on it like Bad Bunny, man. That shit is like 9 inches long, and I can see it through his baggy pants. That's not good. That can't be good, man. He's fucking... Say it ain't so. He's doing everything. Oh, not this shit again. It finally happened. Brave counter, brave counter, brave counter, brave counter. Thank God for the Sandalphon patch, man. Get this shit out of my face. That's insane. Justin, what the fuck, man? What an insane set. I mean, good to see the Grand Blue. Yeah, it just still had hands before the Sandalphon patch. It still had hands before the Sandalphon patch. All right, I see why I love this game now. But like, that last little brave counter, brave counter, brave counter, brave counter at the end there. That shit was not good, man. I saw that shit one time and I got angry immediately. Like there was an anger reflex that triggered immediately in my shit. Fart Crew Justin, that is his name, which is amazing, isn't it? I do love that. Talk a lot about what goes on with SMT demons and how mythology is interpreted in modern media and what tells us about modern sensibilities and aesthetics clash with the abstract. Yeah, man, that sounds interesting as fuck. You should find someone that you love and talk to them about that shit. And I bet you they're going to enjoy it. It's nice to share your passions with other people, man. I might go so far as to say, it's not true, but one of the nicest things about loving shit is getting to share it with people. Maybe this is just like the extroversion speaking, but like, one of my favorite things about being really, really into something is like, oh, I get to experience that thing where I share this thing I love with someone that I love. Oh, that shit's gonna go so hard. Like, as I'm like deep diving into something and I go, oh, this is awesome. I go, wait a second. I can tell people I love about how awesome this is. Oh shit, that's gonna feel amazing. I think it's fun. It's fun. I would recommend it. Do not wait for motherfuckers to ask. Just talk. You'll enjoy it too, obviously. You're the one enjoying it. You're the one talking. I mean, it can be lame if you're talking to someone you can tell they just don't give a shit at all, but hey, man, you know, that's, you learn something about that person. They don't fuck with you like that. Anyway, that's gonna do it, fellas. I gotta go. Tomorrow, there is no Curry Cup next week or tomorrow either, I think. I think Aaron Curry is taking a little bit of a break, which is valid. Tournament organizing is certainly exhausting, and he does a lot. He does a lot, right? His ass is not just running wall brawl casually, you know, once or twice a week. Like he's organizing, and he's got like fucking prize pools and shit, and he does a lot of shit for the community and all of this. Watch this year's tournaments tomorrow, maybe. That sounds like a good idea, actually. Though I will say, this is not the tournament I was trying to watch. I've made 2 layers of mistakes. 1, this tournament is from last year. 2, I was trying to watch Perfect Storm 2026, not Numad. I was trying to watch Perfect Storm 2026, which did happen a few days ago. It's not this tournament. Not only did I watch the wrong year of the tournament, I also watched the wrong tournament. So I'm just gonna go. Have a wonderful day. Hope you guys enjoyed. A little bit of a chiller, this Yap session stream as tournaments tend to be. I'll see you tomorrow for something, man. Hopefully I'll actually know what we're doing instead of thinking we're doing something and turns out we're doing something else. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Go talk to someone about your passions. Peace.